Welcome to another glorious SegaCrew race. Thank you so much for joining us this weekend. I am Booster Shane, and with me I also have JKL and Bacon Omelet. If you guys would like to say hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Well, I'm super pumped.
Let's
I know
go.
you guys are too. Bacon, he helped me come up with this list, and JKL was racing a lot of these games, so he's very familiar with this list as well. And we certainly threw a few curveballs at the racers this race, so I'm super pumped because it's really going to be anyone's race. There's a lot
we're
of
going.
RNG that we threw out there, and I'm sure there was a lot of curse words thrown my way, but I'm super pumped.
Okay. You heard the people complain about one game on this list at least.
Let me guess. Was it Fatal Labyrinth?
Yeah, I've heard people call it some horrible words.
I'm really excited to see that one.
As a viewer, I think this list is incredible because you're absolutely right. Something goes wrong on Fatal Labyrinth, you could be stuck there for 20 minutes. Everything goes right, you could be out of there in 6 minutes. But as a racer, I do pity and respect everybody that signed up for this race. We have 6 racers in this Sega 16/8. It is 8 games this year. We have Narblast and Smart Alec up top. They'll stay up top, and down below we have a couple rotating boxes with the other 4 runners: Radioactive Man from Mars, Imsense, Z-Tox, and Fede PG52, and we are super excited. Well, any final thoughts real quick while I get everyone set up in race time?
No, I don't think so. I'm just excited to get going here.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, me too. Well, no further ado, we're going to get right to it. I'm going to go ahead and get the countdown going. And there we go. And it is official. Sega 16 number 2 is off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the racers are in progress.
Yeah, and we are starting off with the longest goal for the list here with the Castlevania Bloodlines. I'm going to expect that most people are going to be around the 25-minute mark here.
And that does sound like a nice chunk of time, but that is a really good time. 25 minutes, it's about half the game. So it is an extremely long goal, but, again, a lot of things can go wrong here. And I'm excited to see who everyone picks. We got our first John Morris selection from Z-Tox. Everyone else going with the card.
Let's go, John.
Well, that's... Hey, by the way, this is No Diggity 1 on the mic as well. I am a speedrunner of this game, so I figured I'd pop in as well and provide a little commentary as well. But
Heck, man.
Yeah, for sure. One thing that's really solid about this game is just the fact that it's very different from a lot of the other Castlevanias. Obviously you do get the whip guy, but playing as the card, I think that's what really makes the game interesting. And again, what it's going to do for the runners is that you'll see certain things like Narblast already was using the spear jump as well as Radman to bypass that lower section. So what the card gives you the ability to speed up some of the things on the levels, but particularly Morris is actually stronger against the bosses. So it's sort of a trade-off.
A nice balance, and No Diggity must be in heaven right now. There's 6 racers right now playing Castlevania Bloodlines.
It's what needs to happen. It's perfect.
Yeah, one thing that's different about this Castlevania game than others, because usually you want to damage boost a lot, but in this game you don't do that. At least for this goal you don't do it as much, because you want the power-up weapon, which you can see people using here when the whip or their spear is glowing. And if you take a hit when you have it, you lose it, and I think you get it by collecting crystals, right?
Yeah, there's a couple of ways to get it. One way is with the crystals. The other way is there's a book item, which is actually only used once in the game, and that's the very beginning there in that wall where they were doing the spear jump. And it's strange because level 1 is actually has some of the two of the only single-use items in the game, and that would be the invincibility crystal and the book. So nowhere else in the game, for some reason, they just said, "Hey, we want to have this."
That sounds like a weird decision. But we see Gnorblast is coming up to the first boss here already.
And Smart Out right behind.
So one thing that that Narblast missed on that one is that if you don't lose any frames from the scene after you get up to the top of the stairs, you can have a reasonably fixed pattern for at least the initial jump in for the guy. This boss tends to kill a lot of runs for me because it's one of the stronger bosses and also has some of the most RNG.
Yeah, he has a lot of attacks.
It seems like level 1's a big reset point for a lot of runners for this game.
Oh yes, yes, that's a fact. We'll see if we can get anybody do any swag poses there to grab the crystal, because you can do a couple things. You can do swag pose to grab that, and also you can do what I call the tantrum pose, and that is using the spear jump animation with Lacard and get him to lay on the ground like he's throwing a big tantrum.
I think that Radioactive Man hasn't he speedrun this game at some point?
He did speedrun it, and he doesn't have a run on the board because he rage quit and deleted all his VODs and swore never to ever play this game again, and here he is. So we all need to give him a round of applause to get back on the horse and do this run.
Amazing.
Yeah, so we're going to see, I'm guessing with Narblast, we're going to be seeing one of the first major enemy manipulations, and there's a... one thing with Bloodlines is that there's a ton of sub-bosses, right? So it's, in this particular one, you actually have 3 sub-bosses before the end of the stage. So the first one's going to be the Water Mage, and there is a trick to manipulate the Water Mage to actually get a faster kill, because it's programmed to basically transform the direction opposite of what you're facing. So if you get to the corner facing towards the correct direction, you can actually get them to respawn on top of you every single time.
And the second boss you can despawn, right?
Correct, yes. There's 2 nights in the second phase, and the first night you can despawn by using a super weapon, and it actually causes, we call it the item crash, but there's too many objects on the screen for the game, and it just decides, oh, I'm going to despawn the boss.
I actually learned this game during the very first Mega 16, and I remember I tried to get that to work consistently.
Okay, see Narblast. There we go, Narblast did the despawn. Awesome.
Yeah.
You can also jump over the spear hitbox too if you're feeling really saucy. The pole axe right there. You can jump through the hitbox if you time it correctly.
Well, in this race, I don't blame these runners for not going for that. That sounds...
It's pretty risky, yeah.
Pretty risky, yeah.
Yeah, the other thing too we're going to see, I don't know if Narblast is going to do this, but from the speedrun perspective, we all like to actually take a hit from the first Medusa to actually intentionally lose the spear. And the reason why that's the case is because there's a really high likelihood of getting hit in the next few screens, and you want to have the super sub weapon for that boss. That's the best way to do a quick kill. It's very painful if you don't have it, so... looks like Narblast did take an intentional hit there, which is wise to do so.
One thing about the auto scrollers in this game is that they aren't really that easy either. You really need to focus to not make any big mistakes.
Oh yeah, it is painful. This one, and also on the Leaning Tower of Pisa. That one's pretty nasty.
And I like the auto scrollers because they're just a screen as opposed to an entire level. So you're not stuck doing an auto scroller the entire time. It's just one of the screens to get you through the level.
Yeah. This game was an absolute graphic masterpiece though for the Sega, because it took advantage of so many different things. You're seeing parallax scrolling. You're seeing all sorts of image transform. Stretching, it's just an amazing game.
And to answer chat, Wilski, yes, all glitches and boss skips are allowed as long as they're allowed on the category on speedrun.com. We try to reflect those rules as well. So yeah, absolutely, all glitches, whatever they want to use, these are all any percent categories.
Looked like Ems just did the water mage glitch and the despawn. Excellent. Ooh, Smart Alec just picked up the powered up spear and then immediately lost it, so that's going to be a little more painful.
Time on the boss. Yeah.
Yep.
You got to bring him down. You'll see it here.
Narblast is doing it right there.
He's annihilating the boss instantly from the top platform. But we'll see on Smart Alec's screen without the powered up spear, he's going to go in there and he's going to have to take down the boss level by level to get the hitbox down low enough for him to hit it. So it's definitely a time loss there.
Yeah, hopefully they practice a backup strat.
But
yeah,
again, with
the axe is where it's at when it comes to the backup strats for them. Because with the axe you can actually hit, I believe you can actually hit 6 times because you can hit it on the upward stroke and the downward stroke there for the arc. But yeah,
you can see Radman being very cautious trying to keep this upgraded spear because he does have it early. He does want to keep it for this boss, and I've seen him take this green a little bit slower than he had the others.
I respect that strat for a race like this. You definitely want to try to take advantage of this because again, the rock pillar can absolutely ruin your day. Oh yes.
Yeah, looking over at Smart Alec's screen, you can see what we're talking about, the length of this boss fight without the powered up spear.
Yep. And once you get it low enough, you can actually use the axe to go ahead and hit the head and kill the head first. And then for saving the frames there on the speed run, you actually also want to attack the body while it's in death animation. So that way you can actually reduce a few frames of lag there.
Getting a little teabag action right on.
Yeah, we'll see. Although we switched over, Smart Alec is now ending this boss fight, and we just switched over from Radman. But I bet when we get back to it, he'll be pretty close to Smart Alec's pace, just based on him having that powered up weapon.
Yeah, that'll definitely help.
The great thing for the viewers, we talked about this at the top, is the heavy RNG that's in a lot of these games. So just because Narblast is in the lead, or Fede's a little bit behind right now, anything can really happen. Even in Gargoyles, which is another kind of straight ahead platform, it ends on a really heavy RNG boss fight. So once again, anything can happen today.
Ooh, Fede taking a death there.
It's a tough fight.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think Fede is one of our line runners, right?
Him and Impsons, yes, are going in blind today.
That's awesome. That is really awesome.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for them when they get to Fatal Labyrinth.
Oh my gosh. Well, there's Ems with the powered up. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. And again, the beauty part about that is if you do it right and set up your crystal count, you can completely kill the boss before the platform even drains all the water out of the room. So that's your best bet. But Narblast is in the part where I loathe this portion here. But in this section here, if you're not playing as Lacard, you can't take advantage of the spear jump, which makes the climb on this significantly easier.
Agree. Also, go on, JKL.
Yeah. I was going to say I've only played this as Garrett, and it's really horrible. This part.
In a lot of the Castlevania games, especially on NES, they're known for their terrible, bounce back when you get hit. And in this game, you don't really have to worry about it, except on this screen. This is where if you take some body damage, you might get thrown backwards into this pit. You gotta redo this entire stage again.
Well, in the platforms, as pretty as the level is for the Leaning Tower of Pisa, the platforms will actually phase in and out of existence when they reach the periphery of the screen. So you have to be extremely careful. You never want to be I hate doing spear jumps in that screen because I'll always grab a platform which is like phased in for a split second, and then all of a sudden it'll be like, oh, by the way, you're dead. Drops you on the screen. All right, Narblast is facing my favorite boss here, the Screamy Nix. But having the powered up spear, you can get a lot of advantageous hits there because you can actually get what I call the bonus hits. The hitbox is active as it's scrolling up right here and goes to horizontal. So you can get a hit there, and then 2 hits there. So you can basically get 4 hits and effectively kill that phase without having to fight or face the tail.
Yeah, you can see the boss spends a lot of time off screen, and the fact that you can get some of these extra hits is a very big deal.
Yep, and again, the stupid speedrunner trick is to try to kill it when it's off screen, so that all of the death animation is off, not being rendered, just to save some frames. Because, you know, we gotta save the frames.
Gotta.
Yeah, see Smart Alec coming up here on the pre-room there for the boss. A couple of bars of health, but...
And you can see how much time Imson's made up too with the powered up spear. They're ahead of, or just right behind Radman.
Yep. Look at Zetox coming in facing the rock pillar.
It's some Morris action.
Whipping away.
Now Morris is unique because Morris can actually attack diagonally while in the air, which is something that the card can't do.
Smart Alec took a intentional death.
That was a very wise move. The only thing that makes it nasty about that is that you lose your powered up spear, because there's 3 levels. I mean, there's the first level, there's a second level which slightly extends it and increases the size of the hitbox, and then there's the last one which has the flaming spear, which also increases the hitbox a little bit and does additional damage. But yeah, if you're coming into this one with 2 bars of health, that's not good.
So we going to see the zip here?
When we
Yep,
did.
there we go. All right, so that was
Wow.
that was the partial zip. Now, what Narblast did is that when you use a sub-weapon, it actually will put your hitbox above your, like, I believe it's 1 sprite or one pixel above your character, so you can actually get pushed into the wall. So we kind of walk through the wall and try to eject at the right location. Now, when you reach the top of the room, you can actually eject using the piston at the top and eject and grab the door transition. So you can actually make that even quicker. But it's exceptionally dangerous for Zetox because when you're playing as Morris, you can actually soft lock if you go too high in the screen. So he said he's going to go for it. I talked to him earlier.
Wow.
Smart getting close to that piston zip as well. We'll see if we go. There's another zip or skip here. We'll see.
Narblast is taking the very... Yes, I would do that too. There's each of those blades that are in that spinning room there in 4-8. There's approximately 6 pixels that are actually the death pixels on those blades. So you can actually jump through them. Or in this case, Narblast took advantage of a damage boost to get through that last blade, just to be a little bit quicker out of the room.
It's always a nice little safe compromise if you're not going for the skip there. Just do the damage boost.
Yep.
The nice easy exit. And these platforms can be a little tricky as well.
Yeah, these platforms are
They're-
one of the worst I've played.
They're terrible. Yes, they are terrible because depending on what direction they're going will dictate what sort of momentum that they're imparting to you. So if you have the platform going backwards and you jump forward to that other platform, you might barely make it. Other times you might miss it because you don't have enough forward momentum to get to it.
And Smart Alec, he went through the piston room the intended way, and you can see how much slower it is. You have to wait for a lot of those piston cycles before you can advance.
And this is definitely where using Lecard's spear jump, you want to just use the heck out of that and just, do that to get through there. Because otherwise, as Morris, you got to go back and forth, got to go to the left, got to go to the right in that gear climb. So again, it is definitely a compromise because You'll kill the bosses faster as Morris, but you definitely have to really be on your game when it comes to the main levels.
That was a way quicker finish time on Castlevania than I thought it would be.
Yeah, we got our first game GG at 17:40 around there. That's fantastic time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my time for it with Lacard is my last registered time was 34 minutes, and I'm not a fast runner. I believe the record's right now in the 29s for the whole game, and this game includes a whole bunch of refights too.
And the second game that Narblast is now throwing on, Gadget Twins. This is a point goal rather than an advancement goal. So all he needs to do is reach 5,000 points. You should be able to get that after a couple of boss fights and advance. But with this game, this is tricky as well because you have no iframes in this game. It's very easy to just accidentally game over, and you do not get to keep your points if you have to use it continue. So we'll see what happens here. As Smart Alec there just took a death, as we were talking about on these very janky platforms.
About Gadget Twins, it's a really, really rough game because, as you said, you can die really, really quickly, especially on bosses. So we will see how well they play this game.
Yeah, you collect points from the enemies you kill, and so Narblast here, he is going after every single enemy. You might see some other runners playing it a little bit safer, because some of these enemies can get a little bit hectic.
Well, yeah, and also the content of the sets are actually random, so they don't want to open sets just completely blind, because if they open one and the bonus drops, they will lose around 1.5 minutes because they gotta play the bonus level before level 2.
And I believe there's no points to collect in the bonus levels.
No, only money.
Only money.
I believe what dropped on Nars there was a bonus game.
I believe so too. You can see the U and the S, and that's kind of how evil this game could be. The other letters were hidden by foreground elements, so that's one of those kind of tricky things where, you know, oh, is that my speed up? Oh no, that was a bonus. He's having a really good boss fight here.
Yeah, one thing you can really gain a lot of time on during this game is getting the invisibility right before a boss, because you can just stay in their face without worrying about taking a hit.
And Smart Alex just finished up Bloodlines as well, and will be joining Narblast here on Gadget Twins shortly.
See Smart Alec practicing, so I think he is happy about that time.
And Tia Gotch, I love that. I think we need to push that. Yes, Narblast is the Sega Genesis Arcus.
Yeah.
M's now in the piston room. Nice safe way to make sure he can get that cycle there.
Narblast is coming up to a slightly R&E boss here, because he can stay above the screen where you cannot hit him, or below the screen as well.
Ooh.
Like he's doing now, but you do actually get 10 points per missile here.
Such a cute looking game. It is pretty mean how it just gives you a little fist to work with.
And it doesn't have a great hitbox either.
Yeah, it's so stubby.
He seems to be on the correct warpath there, so he will be finishing up in around 20 seconds, because you get a lot of points early on the second stage.
Just get a little bit of this second stage music, which I love. although we have Smart Alex volume going, so you'll hear that shortly. There we go. And off to Demolition Man. And, I know No Diggity stepped away from comps, but I'm kind of curious. What's he more hyped about, Bloodlines or Demolition Man?
Demolition Man is probably one of the best speedruns.
Yeah,
on
Demolition
this list,
Man.
I must say.
Demolition Man, I'm really hyped for. Again, I love Bloodlines, and I think a lot of people need to run it, and more people need to play it. But the fact that Demolition Man just absolutely gets such a bad rep.
I want to see Brando play Demolition Man. It seems like a
This is his
Brando game.
Yes, absolutely. I
don't know if he's
absolutely
still
agree.
out there, but
Now, enhance your calm. Enhance your calm.
I mean, it reminds me a lot of the Terminator game he runs, and it's a movie franchise game. It's right up his alley.
Yeah, as far as people commenting about game audio, this particular game, Gadget Twins, the audio is really out of balance. So it's
Oh yeah,
we'll do our
it's
best.
really loud.
Yeah, that's one of the weird things with the Genesis. Is just every game has their own little audio level.
That's why
Yeah.
they put a little volume bar on their console. They know, just like they turn it down.
yeah,
Yeah.
the volume right on the system.
Right on the system. They know everything's gonna be out of whack.
That's also why I put lots of filters on my OBS.
That's why your stream sounds so good.
Well, you gotta know
Yeah,
how to
right.
you gotta know how to massage and rein in that blast processing goodness.
That's
Yep.
right. Right now we are
Oh,
experiencing.
here goes
diggity
Z-Tox with
audio.
the piston
Talks with
zip.
the
Let's see.
piston.
Come on, Z. Do this.
Luckily, he doesn't have. A
Oh,
lot
he's
of
skipping
ammo.
it.
Yeah. There you
He's
go.
skipping.
Good job.
Good call,
Probably
Z.
a
Glad
good
he's
call.
skipping Yeah, very good call.
doesn't
Don't
want to
soft
have
lock.
to restart.
It has some really good lag management here in Demolition Man. Usually when I play this, it lags a lot more than this, I can say.
Yeah, absolutely. They just overload this level, this top-down levels with enemy sprites and bullets and everything's on the screen. Explosions. It's just like the movie.
Hey, if you
Love it.
love Demolition Man, you should absolutely be playing Xenocrisis too. Remember that.
That's true.
Mm.
At least with
Especially stages
Xenocrisis,
like
though, you
this.
get really good soundtrack, though.
Smart Alex also moving on.
I think most of the runners came into this race early on not really knowing about this game and may have been a little iffy, but from everyone that I've talked to, they walked away loving this game, and it's one of their favorites to play part of this race.
Makes me happy. It was my suggestion.
Yeah, the speedrun just seems natural in a way because you have all these parts with tight jumps, you have some glitches, and you just have a really solid speed game, really.
Yeah, and there's, just they give you a little more variety than an average speed run, so I can absolutely understand why this is so addicting to run. You get a little bit of everything, so you get to learn different strats, and not completely straightforward. And, honestly, I kind of like janky games to speed run. I think they're a little more fun because you can usually exploit things that you can in good games. So.
Do you think it's because they didn't play test it as much? Because the people who were involved in the play testing are just like, no, screw it, I'm done.
Well, I think they knew it was going to sell because, you got a big name like
It's got the
Demolition
name.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. They don't have to put as much time into fixing the problems.
What, you mean like Ghostbusters 2 for the Nintendo? Oh, wait, what would I know about that one? God.
And, also, too, as a kid, I wasn't really aware when a game was janky. I thought Jurassic Park was a well-made game. What do I know? I'm a kid.
Nostalgia is a powerful drug.
Yes, it is.
Nostalgia is a very powerful drug, and at some point, as us as a kid, we're just playing that. And we're just,
Oh,
ooh,
Radman just took a game over continue at 2,800 points, a little
Oh,
over
no.
halfway,
Oh,
and
gosh.
he is now back to 0. That boss is can be a pain in the butt. He can attack you by straight from forward, just out of nowhere, very quickly. He also has those missiles. He can also dance around off the top of the screen where you can hit him. Just a very frustrating boss.
Makes sense,
Yeah, the True Lies NES game with the top down, that one's fun as well. I think I looked at that game when we were making this list, and I don't think anybody runs the Sega Genesis version. I think it's just the SNES version, but there is a Sega Genesis version, I believe.
Free world records is sitting there.
There you go.
Coming up here on Gnarl Blast, you can do a quick kill on this boss, but you need really good mashing for it, so we will see if he goes for it. Yes, he got the quick kill.
Very nice. That is a very long fight if you don't get that quick kill. The boss takes a very long time to bring out that damage bar. So, excellent fight.
And he is on to... I know this is his least favorite stage, because he was complaining about lamps earlier, so I know this is the only stage with lamps that can hurt you like that. But this stage is really, really rough, because you sometimes you cannot avoid taking damage.
Mm-hmm.
But he is taking it slow and easy, and it seems to be going pretty well here.
Yeah, I was watching Z-Talks on this level, and he came up with a way you can despawn those objects on the top if you just go backwards and get them off the screen again. It's a little slower, but it's definitely safe because those things will do a lot of damage. Nicely done.
It's going to be really interesting seeing how they play the final stage of this game, because you can skip a lot of the final level, but it's really dangerous as well as one mistake will be instant death.
Mm-hmm. But luckily, you have a lot of lives, you have a lot of continues, and even if you die right there, you get to start the level right at the beginning, and it is a pretty fast level, even though it's kind of mazy and very long. It's probably the longest level on this easy game, Demolition. The other like normal and hard have 4 stages, but the last stage on the easy mode is right after this one that Gnarl Blast is on. All right, Radman back to this boss here. He's in a lot better position. He's got 3 lives this time. Imsense is right there with him. He just took a death, but luckily he's got another life left. Both in good position here.
Smart Alec took a death on this boss. This is how the boss is supposed to be fought, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay,
A lot longer.
let's see how much dropping Gnarl Blast is doing here.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, he's doing the first part. Let's see if he goes for the second part, where you jump down right here.
Nice skips.
Oh, this one is real. Okay, he went for the slightly slower skip there. You can fall slightly more to save like 5 seconds, but it's a lot harder, so I can respect the decision to go for the easier one.
Yeah, he's going for a lot of these skips.
Jeez.
Very impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially once you get to these.
I
dark
wonder if he's going for the final one here.
Oh,
No,
Z-Tox
he
going on to
didn't.
Gadget Twins.
His favorite game.
Oh god, yes. Another reason why we don't have Z-Tox's audio going right now.
You want to hear some swear words. And there
And
we go.
now we have 6 minutes of girl on girl fighting.
Oh baby.
The original glow.
Or should I say, oh my dear gosh.
I'm still waiting for someone to make SegaCrew a Cutie Suzuki booty emote.
It's okay. I just make overlays.
Moved on.
Yeah, for this game, basically the speed threat is to
Ooh.
get knocked out and then count them out, basically.
Alright, we got M's having some stream issues.
Yeah, we're not going to see any actual wrestling in this speed run, and you'll see
Full
what we're
bit.
talking about here.
They will throw some at least.
That's true. You know, you got to keep
there
them
we
kind of
go.
frozen there.
Looks like M's is back. Thank you, Choco. Much appreciated.
And he's going for a lot of grappling, which is definitely riskier. There we go. Now you just keep him at bay with some kicks, and you want to enter the ring at about 19 seconds.
Why did we choose this and not Beast Wrestler?
Well, maybe we'll have to choose that for the next one.
Okay, Beast Wrestlers for the next one.
You need to definitely throw that into the hat. It's hilarious.
The thing with throwing and doing things outside of the ring is that the game actually lags quite a bit when both players are up, but while you do a throw down or something and one is on the ground, the timer will go quite a lot faster actually. So it's actually a good speed strat if you wanna gain like 20 seconds on this goal to actually try and go for a lot of throws and stuff.
And I was actually impressed with the leaderboard on speedrun. I was expecting that nobody has ever heard of Cutie Suzuki, and I think there's 4 or 5 runners on the board.
4 or 5 people have heard of this game.
Yeah, exactly. And apparently it's based off a real person.
Yep, a real Japanese wrestler. I know that Grimshins went down a Japanese wrestling wormhole recently. And Mr. Manny might even be able to throw out some facts. I know he is a big fan of wrestling and is a Japanese baseball fan, so possibly a Japanese wrestling fan. There we go. 2 down. Smart Aleck going for the same strats. They're both playing as Cutie Suzuki. You do have an option to play as 6 different wrestlers.
I don't think Smart Aleck is playing as Cutie Suzuki. I think he's facing off against Cutie Suzuki.
Oh, you're right. It says 1 player right below the blonde woman. My mistake. Thank you, JK.
Yeah. I noticed a lot of people having trouble actually getting a ring out at times, but I see Gnorblast has definitely worked on backup strats.
Yeah. It was quite the screw kick there.
I saw Smart Aleck the other day lose like 4 minutes to this goal.
Yeah, we can see a Narblast screen right now. Some things that can happen is that they'll go back in the ring, and now you're just, hoping they'll come out. And if not, you're wasting a lot of time.
Yeah.
So this is definitely opening up an advantage for Smart Aleck if he can keep these ring out strats going to make up some time here.
He took a loss there. which isn't bad because I think the person who took a loss to already had lost a game.
Yeah, in the
Because
second round, the way the tournament's structured, you're able to lose a match and still advance, depending on who you're matched up against.
M's going in to have a conversation with Simon Phoenix. And some wonderful quips. Ooh, Fedo taking a game over on Bloodlines.
oh, I was watching the screen and thought that he playing the Demolition Man took a game over, and I was like, wait, how?
That's what I was thinking too. I thought that was a transition right at that.
Well, that's why
moment.
you gotta watch the screen, guys. Oh, Fedican squished. The piston squish. Okay, so Zetox did the 5,000 goal and will be advancing now to the cutest
Yep.
game on here.
That seemed quick.
Or sorry, Demolition Man. My apologies.
Ooh,
This is why I
This
hate this
happens when
screen
you-
if you don't do the zip.
yeah. It's a
Brutal.
tricky room, and you gotta wait for these cycles to link up. And
Yep.
you know, in a race, you don't have time to just wait around. So you kind of push your luck, and very
And-
easy to die on that screen.
And I think Smart Alec is making up some time on Gnorblast here, because Gnorblast has some issues getting the win here.
And that's the tricky part about this whole race is, you know, you could play this game and get 6 ring outs in a row, and then play it again the next time and only get 3 in a row. And you know, there's some tricky RNG depending on what these wrestlers decide to do.
I keep thinking that the commentators in the upper right-hand corner of the game are like the celebrity deathmatch guys from MTV.
Oh yeah, definitely. And there's a few different commentators too. You know, again RNG I suppose, but there's a dinosaur or a dragon commentator. Definitely my favorite and rarely seen.
Godzilla's got to put his 2 cents in.
That's right.
S Viper saying time to start pleasing the fatal labyrinth gods. Oh my gosh, yes.
That's right. Start sacrificing the chickens or the goats for the runner of your choice right now. There's still time.
May the odds be ever in your favor, runners.
I know that Smart Alec is pretty good at Fatal Labyrinth, but I have no clue about how good Gnorblast is, so it could definitely even out the race after Fatal Labyrinth.
And there we go. Narblast just wrapped up Cutie Suzuki, and heading on to the second half of this list, starting with Scooby Doo Mystery.
Yeah, and this game actually has some speed strats, even though it's point and click. Like, you can position your character in a certain way before you take an action, so you can click through objects and things. But in a goal this short, I think they will just focus on doing the actions as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah, it
even optimizing those small things, you might gain like 5 seconds in total.
Yeah, it was really cool seeing JKL optimize this game when you know he's posting in Discord about how if you stand here to select the key, Shaggy won't do his run animation, and it's just, you know, how much you got into it. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I think that's the most fun part about these races, is like picking up a game that you would never pick up otherwise, and then just start realizing like, oh, this game actually has some tech stuff.
Zoinks, yo.
So Gnari gotta open up all 6 doors here at the beginning just to get access to the 7th door. So we get some classic Scooby Doo shenanigans. Talking is hard.
Shenanigans, but
Yeah, correctly.
You know, I'm interested to see Gnar's route on this because since this is kind of just a random goal in this point and click game, you can cut out a lot of the the items you grab, and so I kind of just threw out a route that I thought was the easiest, and I'm curious to see if it was the fastest way to complete this goal. Gnar's already he went left to right on the doors to the left, and now he's going right to left on the doors on the right. That's already something that I didn't do. So that's very cool that he worked that out to know that, it's faster to go in this order.
Yeah, the most time save you can do here, because you gotta watch all the cutscenes no matter what, but where the cursor ends up and stuff like that, where you gotta take the shortest distance to the next action.
And this is kind of a Halloween game, and it's October, so it kind of worked out for it to be on this list.
Let's see if it does the key skip here. Yeah, he's
Come on,
trying
Chef.
to get it.
Shaggy's got the
No,
munchies.
he didn't get it.
Yeah, and so you see Shaggy had to do the walk around animation. Again, it's only a few seconds, but in a speed run, it's all about those seconds.
Yeah, this was probably one of the games I tried and was like, oh, I really want to try the full run later on, because it was really fun to actually play
game.
this. Because
it has good. Here, go on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because most of point and click games on consoles are really horrible to control, but this game felt really natural. And I don't know if this game was made for consoles only, and that might be the reason or something.
That would make sense. Yeah, I think it has a killer soundtrack. The animation's great. It's got the show's humor, and if you're a fan of the show, it makes sense why these characters would be in a point-and-click type mystery game.
Yeah.
How can you not be a fan of the show?
I agree.
It's the
Well,
best.
it's a Sunsoft game, so of course it's going to have banging sound.
That's true.
That and
Somebody
I'm
best their own.
still thinking that I want to put a vote out there for Willie Beamish for one of the next races.
So Gnorblast is... No, go ahead.
It's just, just to continue what Diggity was saying, it's hard to emulate a lot of Sega CD games, and
Oh yeah, it's
that can be
CD.
a pain. Yeah, that'd be the only reason I wouldn't be for it.
We don't want to make Paul Saltine too excited about it either. I know he loves that game.
We need to see that finished. I would count that as a Halloween game if he wanted to finish Willie.
Oh
Beamish.
yeah.
Yeah, and Gnorblast is coming to the goal of this game, where you gotta get the sleeping bear here to scratch himself. Oh, I think he went for one speed threat here in the end. Yeah, he moved a little bit to the left, so he didn't have to watch the whole cutscene where Shaggy goes all the way to the left, then to the right. So he saved around 2 to 3 seconds there at the end.
And it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're talking about this run, it's probably only 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, I think-
those seconds are big.
Yeah, I think the best time was like a 450 or something. I guess I should explain a few things about Fatal Labyrinth that you will see happening. I'm going to assume they are going to use 2 glitches, maybe 3. One is the accuracy bug, where you pick up a weapon, equip it, drop it, and pick it up again. That way you maintain the damage bonus, but you don't get the accuracy punishment, basically. So they will try and pick up an axe, which is the strongest weapon, and still have the accuracy of being armed instead, which has a way higher accuracy stat. And the second one they are going to try and use is they are going to try and find 2 bows, because a bow gives you a negative defense score, and if you pick up 2 bows and equip the first one and then equip the second one, those 2 negative defense scores will stack and underflow, so they get max defense points.
Yeah, and kind of add on to that with the axe, what Narblast just did with the accuracy glitch there. You have to do that every time you enter a new level, so we'll see him do that every time.
Yeah.
Get to the next level.
And I can tell that he does not know this layout, so because every 5 levels have a set of rooms it can be, and if you can recognize which floor you get, you will know where the exit is. However, you won't know what kind of items are on the floor or anything like that, because that is still randomized to a certain point.
And that's a big kind of a risk reward in this run that I'm looking forward to see, is if if you're going to go for the exit, or if you're going to explore these early rooms to try to get the 2 bows, or maybe a few potions just in case things get a little hairy.
There is a third glitch which they could go for safety. For example, Gnarblast has an armor ring currently and another ring. So if he wanted to spend 1 minute, he could equip the armor ring, then drop the other ring and pick it up and equip the armor ring again to just keep on stacking that stat. Which is the reason why you actually pick up rings in this run, because you want 1 attack ring, because there are some situations you can get into where you need to kill enemies that are just unkillable unless you have a really high attack stat.
And one thing to point out as well is Narblast entering level 4. As soon as he accesses level 5, if he dies, he will restart at level 5. But if he dies on levels 4 and below, he will have to start the game over. So it's a nice kind of a breath of relief when you reach that level 5 room and know you kind of have that safety net.
Well, I think Smart Alec might be dead here.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of trouble in that room.
Yeah, this is the RNG.
Oh wait,
here.
wait! Smart Alec got the bow glitch, so he is actually completely fine. You can see down there that his armor is 99.
Mm-hmm. You ran into some problems there just with the RNG of all the enemies, and the only way to heal in this game outside of like a potion or a staff is you have to take steps, and then you consume food and you'll begin to heal. So he definitely wants to stay in motion here, as he's about 27 hit points left. There we go, 28. He's getting in a little bit better shape now.
And another thing is that potions and scrolls and staves are completely random. So even if he has a lot of potions, you don't really want to use them unless it's like like you really have to, because most of the potions are actually negative potions.
Yeah, and they change every game. It'll be like, you know, orange potion, and you'll have no idea what it does until you use it. And
Yeah.
even when you figure it out, you know, the chances are to pick up another one so that way you can save that orange potion for when you need it. I mean, now you're looking for an orange potion, and it's not really a big time save. It can actually, you know, especially in this short of a goal, I don't think it's necessary.
I think Narblast has one of the more troublesome floors, actually. Because the exit is usually behind something hidden on this floor for some reason. But he found a hidden passage there, so I think he's fine now. Yeah.
And into floor 5, and that's something that I'm glad you brought up there. There are hidden passageways, and so if you are unfamiliar with one of the floor layouts, you could be wandering around, you know, clicking A on every wall, trying to get you out of there.
And another thing that I didn't realize until I played this game for like 2 hours are that there are actually trapdoors as well.
Oh, yes. And if you fall on them, you'll lose a floor, and you'll go down to the floor below you.
Yeah, but the good thing is that when you go back up, it will still be the same floor. But the bad thing is that if you don't know that, you will probably just go the exact same way as you did the first time and fall down again.
This sounds
And
like
Smart Alec took a game over.
Oh yeah.
Game over.
This is sounding like the level design of Toe Jam and Earl.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much
Very
like
similar,
Coach Man.
yeah.
Luckily, Smart Alec, I believe, was on floor 6, just a couple floors below Narblast. So he started on level 5, quickly makes it back up here to level 6.
Yeah,
Ecco Jr and Earl would be a great game for a race.
So notice also too that both
Yeah,
Smart
well,
Alec and Narblast are both rocking the 99 armor.
Yeah.
And again, that's all RNG that they were able to find the 2 bows so quickly, which really helps this run. Nice moves there.
Yeah, the only room that isn't randomized for this goal is the 10th room. So once Gnorblast has beaten this floor, he can feel pretty safe.
Yeah, you know exactly where to go on level 10, just top left. There's always the staircase. And now Smart Alec onto level 7, so just back to 2 rooms lower than Narblast, just right on his heels.
No Narblast said he was going for the hardship in Gargoyles as well. By the way, I don't know which clip that is, but I'm interested in seeing how well he can execute on that.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool speed strats early on in Gargoyles. There's a few skips in the castle where you're able to reach areas, you know, obviously not intended in that manner. And then in the cavern stage, the next stage, you can clip through. The game wants you to go through a certain route and hit switches to give you access to other areas, and you can clip through those parts. But I mean, it's all about your position and movement, and it can be difficult. But even if you get it after 3 or 4 tries, that's still a time save. They can be that big.
Oh, Fetta's about to try to face off here. Get the. Oh, there we go. Gears boss is down. Fetta did complete
All right.
Bloodlines. Awesome.
And that's our last runner on Bloodlines. Now moving on.
All right, race is over for me. You guys can do what you want to do. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Hey, hold on. He still has Demolition Man. He still has some Demo Man.
That's true. That's true.
Ooh, Gnarblast went to floor 10 finally. And he got a really good spawn on floor 10 as well.
Yep. And another GG for Narblast.
There we go.
And he's still sub 1 hour, and he has 2 games left. Hour 15 time for him is very much in reach.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, the Gargoyles is one of Ztox's favorite games. So
Yep, absolutely. He runs this game. Quite a few SegaCrew members run Gargoyles, so obviously a lot of affection for it in the Sega community.
We have Sheem in chat, actually.
nice.
And I know Cypher was around to give some tips as well for this game during the month build-up.
Well, that's one thing that you're gonna say too. That's really proud of the SegaCrew is just the fact that inside the Discord for this, for all the event planning and whatnot, everybody was so generous with sharing information. And we had Mannix, who's absolute freaking rock star with Bloodlines, also sharing tips and information, and everybody else is just trying to help out everybody else's times. So that's what I love so much about these events.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
Especially our first Sega 16 there, we had X-Men 2, and now look at that game. That game's really taken off.
You're
I'm sorry.
absolutely right.
I mean, that's awesome.
I'm so happy. I love X-Men 2, and I remember for the longest time only 3 people on that leaderboard, and now there's multiple categories, so many runners. The Discord that's probably the most happening channel on the Discord is the X-Men 2 community. It's
Right.
absolutely amazing. Just got into SGDQ this last summer from A-Frame, so that incredible run from him. And She Wolf Val jumps in as soon as conversation goes to X-Men 2.
I think everybody's ears are tuned into their favorite games. They're just like, ooh, what?
Oh, this is on now. Gargoyles? Sheem's here again? Yeah.
This doesn't look good for Alec here. I think he got cursed by the blue wizard, which makes all your movements random for like 30 steps or something.
Oof, that's a lot.
I think he'll be okay in terms of death, but he's definitely losing a lot of time. 1 room away. He's got to get up to level 10 and then exit that. But luckily, he's still at 60 health points. So even though he's losing time, I think he's safe from death. And we've reached the hour mark. And it's great to see all our runners have moved past Castlevania Bloodlines in under an hour. I mean, that is a very tough game, so just doing that already is fantastic for all these runners involved.
Oh, hey, I see Paul in chat, so that's just a reminder. If anybody wants to join the Willy Beamish tournament, go ahead and DM him.
The Wheelie Beamish monthly, yeah?
That's right.
Yeah. If we do that, we got to get the Sega CD Lawnmower Man monthly going on as well.
God.
Oh, yes. Yes. I will do this.
I know. I keep saying I'm going to play that. We should
That's
do a
some-
race. Just
some
everyone sign up for it.
Crazy fever dream idea there.
But then we also have to make sure that all of the games, the soundtracks are playing for all the screens, so that way they're all overlapping. So you can't just do one. It's got to be all of them overlapping at the same time.
Oh, I'm so hyped for this now. And there we go. Smart Alec has moved on to Gargoyles. So 2 runners now on Gargoyles, and we can see here. This is the taverns I'm talking about, the caverns. Excuse me, I was talking about. You have to hit these switches to be able to access some of these points. And Narblast is already through and on to the next section here.
And I know from watching Ztox playing this in the past, there's quite a few opportunities for either zips or skips inside the levels because of the way they're designed.
I think here's one of them.
Yep, there it is, right there.
And that's going to send them right towards the exit. And there it is. Huge time save. And there's also a skip here. If you can, there it is. You got to keep damage boosting on the flame. And you can keep kind of jumping up above that. And he's going to go for it here as well. Oh, doesn't have enough health. That's okay. He's going to start off right here again, and he can try it again. Got to get the right pattern, get above it. Yeah, it can be difficult, but even doing it a few times is worth the time save. Oh, he's gonna do another intentional death.
But Narblast is playing this on normal.
Wow.
Wow. Very nice.
There we go. And this is what Cyphron calls the tickle strats. Gotta get a nice little pattern here, and it's an easy fight after this. You can keep this rhythm.
Quite the contrast of games right now with Gargoyles and Cutie Suzuki on screen.
All on one console.
What are you talking about? Those games are both cute.
Both made for kids.
That's right.
There's on this city level that Narblast's on, there's some tricky sections here. Specifically this, depending on the enemy movement, there's a lot of times you gotta swing to access higher areas, and the enemies can get in a pattern where you can't escape them, and you end up just dying at that part or having to go back lower to kind of reset their pattern. So we'll see how fast you can move through this section coming up here.
Yeah, the hitboxes for these lights or whatever they are can be really weird at times as well.
Yeah, it very much reminds me of a lot like Lion King, where a lot of times you have to be above the platform to grab onto those, lights and the poles and everything else he's swinging on there.
Yeah. I mean, both are Disney games, so that kind of makes sense.
And we saw him phase through that light pole, or right there, so
Yeah.
that's exactly what we're talking about. Not a perfect game, but still a fun game. And the enemies here can really screw you. A decent pattern here. Nice. Oh, excellent job. And it looks like Radman has now moved on to Scooby Doo. He had played, I believe, the entire game for a Sega Wii a couple years ago, so I know he is familiar with this game already coming in. And Smart Aleck going for that skip as well. And yeah, the enemies can be such a pain. He got sniped out of the air.
He had that.
Yeah, had it perfectly, and just the enemy did not want to cooperate. Nope. And as you can have seen from the last hour gameplay, both Smart Aleck and Narblast are very high-level speedrunners. Both of them speedrun just about everything if you take a look at their gaming list. And so you can see how difficult a lot of these skips are on this game. Even for really, high-level speedrunners, a lot of times the game just won't give you the skip.
Yeah, and one thing you have to take into consideration when watching someone like going for a world record or something, they have probably put in like a couple of months just perfecting the skips and stuff. Here they have only had like 5 weeks to actually learn how to do the skips and stuff. So it's really impressive seeing how well they are performing these really hard tricks.
Yeah, 5 weeks for 8 games too. Just putting 5 weeks into one game would be tough enough, but to somehow do 8 games simultaneously is fantastic. And this boss here is really RNG heavy. These guys like to fly in the air, and you get a few different phases. And if they leave the screen, there is no guarantee they'll come back at any speed full time. They can just hang out off the screen if they want to. Kind of like that right there. Look at this. And there's no chance, so you're just losing time. Nice hit right there. This is probably the worst boss fight in the game, not in terms of how difficult it is, but just how random this fight can be. There we go. That's a really good pattern. Nice and low. There we go. Now the final boss, and finally wanted to re-enter the fight. As soon as this boss is dead, we have our first runner on the final game, and there it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Gnorblast is definitely on a 1:16 pace, I would say, around.
Mm-hmm. Depending on how well he knows Ecco Jr., this is a lot of memorization, and a lot of it's a fetch quest type game. But you can go very fast in it, and as long as you know where you're going. Oh, and we get to see who they all pick. Nara's going with the dolphin, or the porpoise, or the killer whale.
I liked the killer whale when I was a kid.
I don't blame you.
We do have to send shoutouts to Ed Annunziata for giving us these gems.
Yeah. We're getting Ecco.
So yeah, Ecco is basically just a kid's game where you gotta find whatever is shown in the top left bar, and you can use your sonar to locate it where it is, and then you gotta go to the crystal and break it. And there is actually one out of bounds in this game, so it will be interesting seeing if Gnorblast is going for it.
And yeah, Alex, right? Smart Alec has a very bad pattern right here on this city level. The enemy's just not wanting to cooperate, and lost a few seconds there just trying to make an easy platform jump. But when those enemies are just shooting you out of the air, there's nothing you can do. And back to Ecco, I know the Ecco franchise is notoriously known for being a very difficult game, but Ecco Jr., you don't run out of air. There's no chance of dying. As long as you know what to do, they should all be GGs at this point.
Yeah, it was a game intended for children to play. Like, it's pretty simple.
It's Where's Waldo underwater.
Yeah.
I like that. But with amazing music.
Yes.
And there was actually another glitch that was discovered by Smart Alec in this game as well. But I don't know if they actually found any use for it yet. But maybe Smart Alec will show us some hidden super strats here.
Ooh.
That's a lot of things in video games. It's just because you can doesn't mean you should, right?
Yeah.
Like in Jurassic Park, just because you could doesn't mean that you should.
That's, yeah. I usually say the same thing about Bloodlines.
But the stage Gnorblast is on right now is the stage where Smart Alec found a new glitch in. Basically, you can screen wrap a lot of times, but I don't know if it's any useful to do.
Very exciting. Well, maybe not at the moment, but it's always great when new stuff's found because even later on, people can, rethink it and possibly utilize it.
Yeah, it can probably be applied in different places, so in some way it will probably be useful at some point.
Get Grim Shins on the case, or Echo Runner.
There we go.
Well, if Nar keeps doing this, we're just going to have to make Nar take 2 laps instead of everybody else.
Smart, Alec. There we go. Finishing off. One more boss over there. That's right. Just hanging out off screen.
With a clutch kill, look at that.
Yeah, I think he was one hit away from death for a very long time there.
Wow.
Very clutch. And our second runner moving to the final game. Right now, it's looking like we'll have 2 runners coming in at the sub 90-minute mark.
Yeah.
And Bradman on Fatal Labyrinth, and he is a speedrunner of Fatal Labyrinth. I think it's been a couple years, and he hasn't put any time into it recently, but again, someone very familiar with this game. Fede back on this first boss on Gadget Twins. These boss fights can be rough. The hitboxes aren't well programmed.
Yeah, and you take like all 5 stars of health in like 2 seconds or something when they are just ramming you.
Yeah, there's no invincibility frames. It's the enemies have invincibility frames. It's friendly for them. They can still hit you, but
well, this just goes to show you that the Sega beat Cuphead to the punch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is only 1 runner for this complete game, and I believe it's around 20 or 30 minutes. So it's a long game for this difficulty.
Jeez, that's a lot of stubby punching.
I just noticed too, if you look at Radman's screen, that crystal enemy or whatever following him around, it reminds me right exactly what you see right above it in Ecco Jr.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there are the ice bars.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly like those diamonds. Absolutely. And it looks like Radman does know these maps pretty well, as he found that secret door rather quickly.
Just knowing the layouts took my time down from like an 11-minute down to a 4-minute time in this game.
Wow.
So just knowing the map saves so much time because sometimes you can just start in a square room without any exits, and if you don't know where the secret exit is, you will probably spend like 2 minutes just looking for it.
Just hitting A by every wall.
Yeah. Also, let's see if Gnar goes for the out of bounds. Yes, he is going for the out of bounds.
Oh, there we go.
Now he only needs to stay out of bounds.
Hey, that's cheating.
Disqualified. Boom. Nicely done.
Well, I'm very proud so far that my PC has been able to withstand this blast processing, because when you're trying to withstand that much blast processing,
It's not easy.
You gotta bring your A game.
I'm impressed, Diggity. This has been fantastic. The stream has looked incredibly smooth the entire time.
Yep, and again, all our internets are behaving for the most part. I know Ems was having a little bit of issue earlier on, but looks like everything's stabilized now.
Also, we are coming up to the end here, where Gnarblast just needs to make the big whale squirt a little bit, and he is done.
Yeah, you were really close to estimate. JKL said about 116, and he should be finishing this at about a 118. So really close. We got our winner officially is going to be Narblack.
Narblack.
GG.
Yeah, the timer's a
GG.
little behind between what we're doing, but the official time ended up being 117 flat.
Yeah.
Fantastic time. And Smartaleck not too far behind as well. So right on his heels. I believe another sub 90 coming up, but we'll see. And Fede on his last life on here on Gadget Twins needs to get this boss.
Ooh.
Lots of HP, but that can be gone in a second. This happens to a lot of people that are running this game blind, as you can see from him. He switched over to this other weapon, and the boxing glove's definitely the way to go. But you know, once you struggle so much at this game the first time you play, you're desperate to try anything, and you usually
Yeah.
start picking up some.
It's got to
of
be
these other
something better.
weapons. Yeah, exactly. It can't be this bad, right?
Yeah, I know. No, I tried buying a few weapons that would hit up, just because I thought it would be a smart idea to try and hurt that. That was what it was off screen above. But what turned out to happen was that the missiles still have a hurt box after killing them, so they just dropped down and insta killed me several times.
Detox scratching the bear.
Go.
Hey, a raid from Narblast, the winner.
The Sega Genesis Arcus.
That's right. The Arcus of the Sega Genesis, and we'll pull Narblast in shortly for interview. But Smart Alec is coming up to his own GG here shortly, so let's finish out his race, and then we
Let's see if he goes for the out of bounds. I know he learned it just a
That
few
is,
days
yep.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't said this at all, but if you haven't done so already, please, please, please follow the runners. Very talented speedrunners, every single one of them.
They really put the time in to learn all these crazy games.
In fact, I'm going to go ahead and post the Race Time GG link here into the SegaCrew chat. And you can follow that link, and that will give you the links to all the runners. You can just click on their Twitch icon there and give them a follow.
All right, you guys will see it in a moment, but we got another GG coming up here.
Looking for another squirt.
And there the squirt is.
All right, GG Smart Alec. Official time was
GG.
1:21:14. So also under 90 minutes.
Yeah, very good.
who is currently third? Is it Cetox that is third?
I believe would be Radman.
Radman, yeah, Radman's
Oh
the
yeah,
Gargoyles.
Radman, I see.
We'll have to figure out who we're going to get audio from next.
I see Cetox is fighting one of the enemies I would never fight, just because it literally sleeps you for 5 turns, and then you get one attack and he sleeps you again.
Oof.
So it's very, very painful to fight that enemy over and over again.
Yeah, and since he knows where the exit is, I'm guessing he's trying to do some leveling up and find all the items here in this early level before advancing.
Yeah, I think that's the strat they use when they are running the full game, because you actually need items and you need levels. So they usually take a lot longer time on floor 1, 2, and 3, I believe. Then you get one attack and he sleeps.
So we're going to take Radman's audio.
Very, very painful to fight that enemy over and over again.
Yeah, we're seeing Radman try to go for one of the skips here in this room. Yeah, you have to hit that switch up above you to be able to access below, but he's going to try to skip it. There he goes. He's able to bypass that section.
Yeah, I think that's the strategy. I would probably just try and avoid it, but I do realize that some people probably want those extra levels, because those extra levels allow you to actually hit the stronger enemies on floor 5 to 9, and you can get backed into a corner where you have to fight, and at that point, if you do not have the power ring, you are dead, even if you would have the bow glitch activated. Yeah, I think that's the strategy. I would probably just try and avoid it, but I do realize that some people probably want those extra levels, because those extra levels, where Radioactive Man is currently, is where I got during my blind playthrough of this game. I just couldn't understand how to get past that fire or that wind thing, but he managed. Power ring, you are dead, even if you would have the bow glitch activated. I would probably just try and avoid it, but I do realize that some people probably want those extra levels, because those extra levels. I think Bush Shane is working on getting Narblast in here currently.
Yep, sounds correct.
Of this game, I just couldn't understand how to get past that fire or that wind thing, but he managed. It can be my microphone here that is echoing a little bit.
Well, we have our race winner, Sega 16/8 now, number 2 race winner, Narblast here, that I'm going to bring in, and we can give him a big old GG. And Narblast, welcome, and GG, fantastic race.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome, and GG.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, shit. I think we're in a feedback loop because of my stupid mic.
Uh-oh.
I think we're in a feedback loop.
Oh, should I pull you back out? We might join Narblast here shortly as he fixes that.
Yeah, give me a second.
Okay.
Caller, turn down your radio.
Long time listener, first time caller.
There's a pretty
He's
tight
leveling
fight
me
going
up
on
soon.
between C-Tox and M-Sense as well.
Wait, how about
Yeah,
equip?
Zetox above level 5. He has the
Index.
edge. If he dies there, he'll start at level 5. So
Did-
hopefully Imp can make this next level and be in the same spot.
Didn't C-Tox know Gargoyles also?
He does. He speedruns Gargoyles. I believe he has a top 3 to top 5 time, if I'm not mistaken. So
So
definitely-
let's hope that C-Tox takes a few deaths just to make this a little bit interesting then.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and since we were having some tech difficulties with Narblast, we do have our second place winner here, Smart Alec, who finished with a official time of 1 hour, 21 seconds, and 21 minutes and 41 seconds. Goodness, numbers are hard today. But I'm going to pull him in. And Smart Alec, welcome and GG on your incredible race, your 1 hour and 21 minute time.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, I just, we'd love to hear, how did the race go today? Is this what you were hoping for? Was it around an hour and 20-minute time?
I mean, I guess an hour and 20 minute is sort of what I was going for. The race, the first 5 games went fine for me. But I'm not afraid to talk about Fatal Labyrinth. That was I won't dwell on this too much because I want to end positively, but I hate that game so much. And like even today, I got one of the worst Fatal Labyrinths I've ever had. Like my best is 6 minutes, which I will never. I've never gotten close to that. But I think my worst was like 13 minutes or something, and I got an 11.5 minute. So that did not go well. Gargoyles was like stage 3. Goliath was not grabbing anything, so I was kind of getting concerned. But then, Ecco Jr. was fine, and the rest of Gargoyles was fine. But like, I mean, the first 5 games I was pretty happy about, honestly. So I guess overall the race was okay for me. But yeah, I said Fatal Labyrinth would decide the race, and look what happened. So.
Yeah, that game definitely throws everything up in the air. You just never know what's going to happen, and it could be
Yeah.
it could be over really quick. But you were right. You were experiencing some bad luck, a little bit of everywhere. I remember in Gargoyles, this section where Radioactive Man is right now, where you're trying to do this vertical climb, and some of the enemies just are not going to cooperate, and you get stuck in these loops, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
painful.
Yeah.
But overall, it was nicely done. You were, some of the skips that you were able to get to, and we were talking about that, how quickly these runners have to pick up these strats for these games, and how
Yeah.
impressive you and Narblast were.
Yeah, GG to Narblast. I mean, definitely well deserved. He put in a lot of time into this as well, so definitely well deserved. I'm not salty about that at all. But yeah.
Well, did you have any favorite games? I did notice, I believe you submitted a run for Demolition Man. Was that the one game that kind of stuck out to you the most?
Yeah, Demolition Man was my favorite game in the list. I can't really explain it because the game it's kind of clunky to play, and it's just sometimes the physics are a little weird, but for some reason that game is, I think it's just because it's fast, and at least calm difficulty it's kind of short, and plus it's you get some variety, like you have like side scrolling, but then you have top down action. So yeah, Demolition Man was definitely my favorite. I liked Ecco Jr. Ecco Jr. It wasn't anything too crazy, but I like that game fine. I mean, Castlevania Bloodlines. I think I would like Bloodlines more if because the first in stages 2 and 3 there's a lot of auto scrolling, but the gameplay and all of that and the music is great. But yeah, and then yeah, I mean, Scooby Doo. I like games with menuing. Like I've run a few games that have menuing in the past. Would probably at least learn the full game for that sometime in the future. And
Oh, really?
same goes for Gargoyles because there's not much left in Gargoyles to learn, so I might at least put up a time sometime in the future for that one. But
Oh,
yeah.
that'd be fantastic. I know a lot of the players in chat are big fans of gargoyles or runners themselves, so I'm sure they are
Hmm.
flipping out to hear that they might have ensnared another runner for
There you
gargoyle.
go. Yeah.
Well, yeah, the entire race, was really close between you and Narblast. We could really tell that you put in a lot of the time to learn these strats. When did you first think that you were going to run this race? Did when did you find out about the list? Was this something that you saw last year that you're like, oh man, I'm going to get into it next year when they do this?
I mean, I knew about some of the Sega races that have happened. I wanted to do the Game Gear race, but unfortunately, the the day of the race, I was unavailable, so I couldn't join that. But maybe in the future, I'll look at those games. I still haven't done that yet. But I saw this game list because I mean, I watched the reveal and I saw the games, and I'm like, well, some of these games look pretty fun, and like I knew about Gargoyles, I knew about Castlevania Bloodlines, and those were games I wanted to try anyway, and so. I started practicing. I did a few with I started with like Gadget Twins, Scooby Doo, like some of those quick ones. But I said that if I can complete Cutie Suzuki and Fatal Labyrinth without too much trouble, or at least if I can beat them, then I will join the race. And I did. So, um, yeah, Cutie Suzuki at first was giving me a lot of fits, but I will say that as time went on, I kind of warmed up to the game. It's still like, I mean, Kitty Suzuki's kind of slow, but there's just some weird. It's just so bizarre. Like every time I boot the game up, I'm just like, what is this game? Like, but it's. I will say I did kind of warm up to that game. But yeah, there were just a few games in this list that I kind of wanted to mess around with anyways, and so I said this would be at least a good introduction as well. And I kind of liked that this was a shorter list personally, just because I've done a lot of multi-game races for like I did a Mega 16 2 years ago, I think. It was number 4. JKL won that one. And then I've done a bunch of like big 20s, tiny 10s, a Super 16. Like I've done a bunch of stuff, and I this is the shortest one I've done, but I also I kind of preferred that at least for this list, just because I kind of got a little introduction to some of these games, like Bloodlines and Gargoyles, for example. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm really glad we did the shorter list this year. We teamed up with the Mother Brain, and so hopefully we're bringing you the Mega 16 number 9, I believe it is, coming
Mm.
up in probably the beginning of the new year. So we definitely wanted to have the Sega 16 a different race. So that's kind of why we started rebranding it Sega 8,
gotcha.
and just do 8 games. So yeah, we'd love to have you for the Mega 16 as well. And, again, we try to do a balance where we gave you longer goals for 8 games versus kind of shorter
Hmm.
goals for the 16. And I know Bloodlines, that's a big chunk of that game that everyone had to learn.
Yeah.
Um, and speaking of Bloodlines, what was your appeal to Eric Lecard? I'm sure No Diggity wants to know why you chose Eric Lecard because he's a big Lecard fan.
Um, I'll be completely honest. No particular reason. I just started with Eric because I saw that he's slightly faster in the speed run, and I'm just like, I started messing around with the game, and Eric felt comfortable for me to play, so I'm just like, yeah, sure, I'll just stick with him. So, I mean, no, no real particular reason. I wish I had a better answer, but yeah, I stuck with Eric just because he was just slightly faster, and plus I was fine with how he played and everything, so I'm like, might as well just stick with it.
The spear
Very
jump is a
cool.
lot of fun, isn't it?
Yes.
I just wanna say something that's amazing that's happening. Fede has had so much trouble with Gadget Twins that he is going for a meme strat which I called the 500 missile strat, because you get 10 points for every missile you kill in this.
Yes.
And
Yes.
he's literally just killing missiles and dodging the boss, and it's amazing.
This is fantastic.
The thing is, if he would kill the boss now, he would be done with the goal. But
Yeah, it gives you 1,000 points, so he'd be done now.
I just think it's amazing seeing a blind player like getting to a strong wall like Gadget Twins and being like thinking outside of the box about the goal and like, okay, I can stay alive forever and just kill missiles.
And they're worth 10 apiece, correct? So
Yeah.
it's going to take
It'll be a bit.
minute or two. Yeah.
But it's safe.
Yeah. By the way, Smart Alex, I saw you had a little bit of trouble getting the ring outs during Cutie Suzuki.
Yeah, there was one wrestler who I fought her twice, and she does not like to kick you out. And so I don't remember I think the first time she eventually knocked me out, but then the second time I fought her, I was just like, screw her, I'm gonna knock her out. And so I did, and I ended up winning. I'm just like, I'm like, because there's one of my full practice runs, I was literally like, I got like a 10-minute Cutie Suzuki, and it was literally because I spent 2 minutes just yelling at the computer player to kick me out of the ring. Like, I was like, I'm letting you do it. Like, I'll let you do it. You gotta let me do it. But today it went fine today, so I wasn't too worried about that game. But yeah, I mean, I lost some time, but it wasn't a huge concern of mine.
You know, I did notice that every once in a while you'd get a wrestler that just want to kick you out, and I didn't piece it together. That was it always a certain wrestler or two wrestlers that just won't do that strap?
I think there's a couple that just never want to kick you out, but the problem is I never researched like what can I do instead if I get somebody who doesn't kick me out. I just kind of what I do is I just kind of play and see what happens, see if eventually they do something, which today they did. But yeah, I didn't really do the research for that, but yeah, there are a couple wrestlers who don't like kicking you out.
Yeah, I personally noticed that stopping way early before hitting the rope was working for me at least, and I noticed both you and Gnarblast ran into the rope every time instead of stopping before.
There were sometimes I would stop in front of the rope, but sometimes I don't time it right and I end up hitting the rope anyways. But I mean, if they kick you out, it's not a huge deal. But yeah. Fed is so close to 5,000.
Oh, I know. I can't take my eyes off the screen.
I mean, he will be the one that completes the goal earliest in the game.
That's true.
That's
yeah,
true.
we were all saying that. Oh, we can't get 5,000 points in the first stage. Fed is like, I don't know about that. I kind of liked Gadget Twins. It's a cute little game. Maybe I'll mess around with the game again in the future. But oh, there we go, 5,000.
He's got it. I don't know if he
got
knows.
Oh, maybe he wants to kill the boss for fun now. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe once
he already got the goal, so he's like, I mean, you have 45 seconds, so. Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. I don't think he's that worried about the swap times.
I do gotta. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right.
Very nice.
Oh, there we go. He noticed.
Yep. Okay,
excellent.
Now he knows.
Yeah. Yeah, and we got Ztox top left there on Gargoyles. He is a speedrunner of this game, and Radioactive Man bottom left on the last game. We're about to have our third place winner coming up here shortly.
I just realized playing Fatal Labyrinth blind and coming to the 10th floor will be horrible because you will probably not go top left because it doesn't seem natural.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many enemies there, so you will probably die at floor 10 because of it.
Yeah, that was something I mentioned. Like, Fatal Labyrinth, if you take your time and do everything, the game's not hard, but the problem is that it's slow. So for blind runners, I actually am not concerned about them getting through Fatal Labyrinth.
But yeah, trying to go fast and not get caught in a precarious spot where all of a sudden you're surrounded by everyone and
yeah. By the way, quick shout out to Sviper for making that Demolition Man tutorial. It was straight to the point, easy to learn, and I got a PB in that game today. At least I'm walking away with something. So during the race, I got an 8:59. So yeah,
wow, that's a fantastic time.
Yeah,
I gotta say that tutorial is one of the best tutorials I ever watched. So if you need inspiration of how to make a tutorial very easily, just watch that tutorial because it was just so easy to learn the game.
Definitely.
I'm
Go
going to
ahead.
second all that and just say I absolutely agree. It was a great tutorial, and JKL, I think you're right. I think that there's a lot of people out there that want to make a tutorial and think they need to do a lot of commentary, and then it never gets done because it's a lot of effort. This was just his world record PB. And then it'd freeze frame and he'd show you, with either with text or with, diagrams, exactly where to jump or where to shoot. And it was straight to the point, easy to pick up and learn. I agree. It was a great tutorial.
I might learn the crazed category at some point. I don't know if I want to do total demolition or whatever it's called, but yeah, I might try crazed out. See if I like that one.
Is that the main category, crazed?
Yeah, I think crazed is the main one, and then total demolition is like hard mode basically. So
I think Narblast is ready, by the way. I saw him type about his microphone working.
Yeah, let's go ahead and pull Narblast in. I'll surprise him. I'm just going to do it right now.
Yeah, do it.
Hello?
Narblast, welcome. And
can you hear me? We're good?
We got you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
And no echo. Yeah, and GG once again on your fabulous time, 1:17, right on the dot. How do you feel? Was that around your goal? Were you surprised by that? What do you think? What were you thinking when you saw
my
that
best
time?
was like 1:12, I think. So I kind of think. I mean, it all depended on Fatal Labyrinth, right? Like that was kind of what I figured.
Yeah, certainly.
So like my goal was to do the best I could on Bloodlines because I figured that would probably be the most separating game up to that point, and then I can just burn whatever lead. If I have a lead, I can burn that in Fatal Labyrinth, and I just hope I don't burn too much time. That was the goal.
Were you afraid that Fatal Labyrinth would be another outrun accident?
So I was practicing a little bit before the race started, and I died 3 times in the second room. So I was not looking forward to actually running it for the race.
Yeah, you were in the lead basically from the beginning until the end. But we noticed Smart Alec was picking up time during Demolition Man, slightly in Cutie Suzuki, but he had a very horrible Fatal Labyrinth.
I said Fatal Labyrinth would decide it, and Narblast had a better Fatal Labyrinth. So, but GG.
I was able to, and then like with Cutie Suzuki, I was able to figure out like a backup for if they don't knock you out of the ring. So, it was
I didn't. So
I
but you just throw yourself against the rope. If they kick you out, that's fine. If not, you knock them down. Then you can just drop kick them and out. Like you go on the other side and drop kick them and knock them out, and they just chase them. But the one big thing was that I realized the damage output in the Japanese Bloodlines is way different. So
yes, it is.
I ended up playing. I played the Japanese version.
That's specifically why there's the separate categories, because the difficulty levels. So the hard difficulty level is like normal in the US version.
Yeah, one thing I did notice too was that there was no there was no password screen.
Correct.
So that was like, I mean, you only see that screen 3 times in the run, but I mean that little bit of time adds up.
Well, and it's also one of those beautiful Genesis graphical glitch problems too. So if you're capturing on original hardware, that password screen will throw off your capture.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep, two different
Okay.
resolutions. The games was like, yeah, I'm just gonna be difficult.
That
I'm gonna
sounds.
change how I'm just gonna change how I look, how I appear right now.
That's right.
That's funny. Yeah, and then Gargoyles, I got. I mean, I tried. I did the big skip in the cave or whatever, and I was able. I mean, I practiced that one a lot. That was probably the thing I practiced the most out of everything in the race. Was that big skip in Gargoyles?
Yeah, we saw Zetox doing some skips there just on screen here a little bit ago. He was doing the that lower level skip, and then he clipped in and dropped down to the exit for that that other stage.
Yeah, that's one of those like feel good glitches.
Yep.
And you're like, yeah, like when you do it, you feel like pumped. You're like, yeah, okay, we can finish this out. And I didn't even realize I was on normal. I forgot to switch it. So that
Oh
wasn't.
yeah, we were noticing that. Sheem even pointed it out in chat. It's like, what's Nar doing? He's playing it on normal. Yeah, and you know, talking about some of those gargoyle skips, you know, even getting it the first time or it works out, and then just having also some luck too, because the game will punish you. There was a time Smart Alec was trying to use the fireball to access the ledge above him. He gets it perfect first
Oh
try,
yeah,
and then gets sniped out of the
I
air.
remember that. Yeah,
Come on,
yeah,
like
that's
cooperate.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's I think that's happened to me twice before. So today was the third time. So
yeah, that was my concern with the city level with the drones. Because like you can be in the middle of a jump, like a big jump, and you can just get shot out of the sky. So
Yeah, the enemy placement and their patterns, you know, you can do everything right in the run, and they can just be like, "Nope, no, you're not getting past us."
well, even grabbing in the game, you can do everything right and still
Yeah.
miss.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But yeah, I realized something was weird because I died twice trying to use the fireballs to skip like the beehive sections in the cave. Like I died twice really quickly, and then I realized like, oh, something.
I don't have the health. Yeah.
That
I, I
that
was
gotta
looking
be
to save
super
though.
nervous to just realize that you totally picked the wrong difficulty and taking more damage and like a lot of things changes when you are playing on a higher difficulty.
Yeah, so like at first I didn't think anything of it until I realized I had to deal with the train, like the bosses in the train. Like in my head, I was like, okay, everything's still fine. Like I don't get hit too much in the run anyway. Then I realized I got to deal with 3 sets of those stupid flying guys and the red guy. Like that's gonna be the problem. And then I think I ended up with I think I had 0 lives going into that fight. Like I had to do it there or I was gonna continue. And I'm not
Oh,
even sure if
man.
normal has continues. I don't know. So
Golly.
that could have been very, very sad.
Well, Cyphern's saying that
Radman's
you should all
approaching.
play hard mode now.
Yeah, Radman just finished collecting all the pearls, and it's on the last stage here.
Yep, he's got to find his friends, and then they can go rescue the blue whale.
Yeah, I was actually on the fence about Ecco because I'm so traumatized from Ecco the Dolphin, the first game.
Oh,
I thought it was gonna be
machine,
like that.
the machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like one of the most jarring intros to a video game I've ever seen because they don't tell you anything. Like there's no clues to tell you when to jump in the sky. Like so you're just cruising around what you think. Like I thought when I was a kid, I thought it was just like a fish tank. Like you just kind of cruise around. You know, maybe fish show up or maybe they don't. I don't know. And then I'm jumping around, and all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose, and I'm flying, and I end up getting sucked into space or whatever.
All right, and we're about to have our third place winner coming up here. Radioactive Man.
Hey, nice. He's gonna start the next day. Okay. And it took me a second to figure out what to do in the endless sea stage. For a while, I couldn't figure out how to actually get the wheels to move.
Oh yeah.
Like, it took a second. But
All right,
yeah,
and there we are.
I would just say that please no more full RNG games for these races.
I second that.
GG Radman with a official time of 1:51:15.
GG.
I was
Sub
I
two.
was I was watching the Master 8 race earlier because we were playing at the rerun, and I might do a voter choice for the next Sega 8. Just take it out of our hands. That way, you guys can pick the games, and I think that'd be a lot of fun, kind of like we did with the Master 8.
I vote
Yeah,
for Toe Jam and Earl.
Yeah, that's where my vote's going.
Love it.
Bring the RNG back.
Oh, I love you guys.
Yep. Yeah. Not
will-
fixed world, random world.
Yep.
I will try and find the most RNG game and then force all of my viewers to just join the SegaCrew
Yes.
Discord and vote.
Yes, that's
Oh,
the
I love
Sega
it.
Crew
So
way
fun.
right there.
Yeah,
8
Slabs
games,
in
all
chat.
RNG. Every game is all RNG.
The RNG 8.
Yes.
That would be
right.
amazing.
Slabs voting for Toe Jam and Earl already. Look at that.
All right.
I mean, have you guys played Toe Jam and Earl 2?
Ugh.
I think
never
that game
played
is
that one.
really good, actually.
The Panic and
I
couldn't
Funkatron.
get into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
2 is the
Yeah,
platforming
fun.
one, right?
Mm,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it is,
I like that one.
and it has some crazy speed tech, which I don't. I know when I learned it, the world record didn't really use it, so it would be a good way getting people to actually run the game.
Mm.
In the Labyrinth 8 times. But
No, Labyrinth and Alf, back to back.
I mean,
God.
I
Elf
did
100%.
I did actually do something in secret for Fatal Labyrinth, which was that I tried to map out a certain start frame and then step route the whole game, but I only got to floor 5. But it was something I was working on, and maybe I will try and do that for the whole game just to see if I could do something stupid like that.
yeah, I think with that I was trying to like find visual cues in the opening and hoping for the best like start. I was never able to find like a good room to start, and then when I did find one, I couldn't duplicate it. So
Yeah, I noticed you were having one of my least favorite rooms. This layout where the exit is always in the middle.
yeah,
That
Oh,
goes
yeah.
round and round, and I saw you start
Into the cell,
moving to the left, and I was like, no, you're going to lose so much time. But you realize pretty quickly that you recognize the pattern.
yeah. I think I knew maybe like 4 of the rooms. 2 of them like looked really similar, but there's an exit either on top or the bottom. Like it's like either or, depending on however they decide. So yeah, one of them I made a guess and I happened to be right. Like I had a chance to go up or down and I chose to go up.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there was. I mean, yeah, the only way to really do well in that game was you had to just know the maps. There was not a whole lot you could really do other than just play the game a lot and just know the maps.
Yeah, I think that's why I like the game, because I like games where you can't really be skillful, but you can be
It's not auto.
knowledgeable.
Like you actually have to like know what's going on in the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like if you take Ecco Jr is also a game I really like, but it's that one is more about just knowing where to go, and you can't really do something do routing on the spot basically.
Yeah.
I see that Hugh Ariel is voting for Dynamite Head.
Oh boy.
Was that in the first Sega 16? I'm kind of mixing up all the Sega races here.
Can we?
Dynamite Head is
no.
I played that a little while ago. That's a good game.
Does it have to be
I
an
don't know.
official
Like,
release?
you
Could
don't
it
know
be a
why I don't know
ROM
if it's
hack?
good. But
Ooh.
Does it have to be official
Open
release?
up
Could
to
it be a
some
ROM hack?
hacks. That could be interesting.
Alf 2.
Me and Smart Alex talked once on stream about fun multi-game race ideas, and one of my ideas was that instead of revealing like 8 games that people would be playing on race day, reveal the 8 original games, and then give the hacks on race day, so people gotta learn how to play the original game to play the hacks as good as they can.
I remember you talking about that.
Well, that would be interesting because anyone practicing would know that theoretically would know all the mechanics. So you just have to apply them differently.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad someone gave the killer whale some love.
Yeah, I see Tox is really giving that killer whale a spin. I don't think there's any difference between the different characters.
I didn't mess around with it too much, but I don't think there is.
Like, I know that all of them could do the out of bounds, so I assume their hitbox is somewhat the same.
I did see Radman when he was playing Ecco Jr. that did not do the out of bounds. So we'll see. I don't know if Ztox knows that strat.
Yeah, I don't think, or I know that Smart Alec didn't do it until like a couple of days
I
ago.
learned it like 2 or 3 days ago.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I think Echo was the last game I even looked at, like at all. Like up until I think maybe like Smart Alec a few days ago, I didn't even realize there was a clip until like I think I was looking at the leaderboard or something. I was like, why is my time like 3.5 minutes like slow? And then I looked at it and I was like, oh, there's a huge skip that takes out like a whole stage.
I think the last game I think it was either Gargoyles or that might have been Gargoyles was the last one I looked at. But I mean,
Yeah,
I
looked at
learned all.
Gargoyle
Yeah.
early because of that huge clip. I wanted to put
Yeah.
myself in a good position to try to do it during the race.
Yeah.
So I was like, that was the first one I was practicing probably heavily. Like I went through all the games first, just kind of blind, and then I jumped on the Gargoyles until I figured out how the skip, like what had to happen for it to work in like multiple situations. Then I moved on.
When you guys are learning races like this, what are your approach? Are you learning the games you think are hardest first or easiest, or do you go for like, oh, I'm most excited about learning this game, or how do you pick between which games in what order you learn?
I go shortest to longest usually, unless something really catches my eye, and then I realize maybe I have to do something, special in the race. Like with Gargoyles, that's kind of that's like a mid level as far as time. It's like a mid. It's like 10 minutes, right? But I knew there was a big skip, so I put a lot of time into that one. But usually I start shortest to longest.
Yeah. What I do is, well, usually I do like some of the shorter games first if I know they're easier, if I can put up a time real quick. But what I like to do is I like to get times for everything and then start cleaning everything up and start implementing new strats and everything. But my big thing is that the games that I think are the scariest, I look at those first to make sure I can do them. Because there was one multi-game race way back when where I saved one of the hardest games for last and I straight up couldn't do it, so I ended up backing out. So that's why I did like Fatal Labyrinth and Cutie Suzuki near the start, because those two I'm like, you can bleed a lot of time there. So I try to learn the scarier games near the start.
Can I ask what game you couldn't complete?
Double Dragon on Game Boy.
Yeah, that's on you for saving that for last.
It is. I learned my lesson. That was 4 years ago, though. I've gotten smarter since then. So. That was 4 years ago. Gotten smarter.
All right, yeah, I got to get out of here, guys. Thanks for the race. I appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to the next one. Can't wait.
Yeah,
Thanks so much.
Absolutely. GG. Thanks so
GG.
much. All right.
Bye bye. Take care.
Take it easy, guys. See ya.
Yeah, we
Fair.
are soon having our fourth finisher here. I think he has, is it 3 levels left? 4 maybe?
I think so. Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 3 or 4.
Zetox is getting there.
Yep.
And then M-Sims is after Gargoyles. There, one more.
And Fed is as usually running completely blind. And I'm really surprised that he is getting this far into Demolition Man this quickly,
Mhm.
because this is not an easy game to play blind.
It's rough.
No.
Yeah, it is very rough.
Yeah, and plus, like, you have to work with like weird physics and mechanics and everything. I mean, I love them, but you know, that's one of those things where, you know, to be fair, I practiced for a month, whereas Fed is doing this blind. So
Well,
Yeah,
just the projectiles are so strange because there's situations where your projectiles aren't going through objects, and then the enemy projectiles just flying right through.
yeah.
Yeah, and the worst part is that that if you get hit mid jump, all of your momentum is gone.
Yes. If you try to make a big jump and a bullet hits you, you're just dead. Like,
Yeah.
you're
And all
gonna
these
fall into a pit. And you're
levels,
just dead.
and all these levels are sort of mazy. There's, no obvious way to go.
Mm-hmm.
And so just trying to navigate through each one of these levels blindly is a challenge in itself.
Mm-hmm.
And we got instance on this vertical climb part, and once again, these enemies just don't want to work.
I will be right back.
Yeah, it's true, Viper. There's some levels that are kind of dark, so it's hard to tell what's on the screen or where you can go.
It's one of those games where
Yeah, some of those.
you wonder whether or not turning up the brightness and contrast is actually a cheat or just a game mechanic.
Yeah, some of the skips in that last level, when it becomes, pitch black and trying to line up exactly where to jump and where you need to clip into is very difficult.
Yeah, that level took a long time for, like, even when I learned it, I would still make mistakes and I have to go back and figure out, okay, where am I not jumping off? Like, you know, I keep dying here. What am I doing wrong? But I mean, it's fun once you get it down because you're just falling the entire time. So
It's just so fast paced that you
yeah.
can't help but want to play it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for anybody watching, if I'd recommend any of these games, I mean, I would recommend Demolition Man, even though it's very, you know, it can be kind of janky and tough to get into, but like that was my favorite of the list. So that's my recommendation, at least.
Yeah, I said it before that I think that most that practice this list really like Demolition Man the most. And then there were like these surprises that was more fun than you thought they would be, like Cutie Suzuki.
Yeah, that game. I mean, I hated that game at the start as well, but like that, I kind of warmed up to that one over time. Like, I think, but then again, part of it is that you kind of have some control over things in that game. Like, you know, if you don't get kicked out of bounds or whatever, I mean, if you don't get kicked out of the ring, I mean, like that can be annoying. But you know, once you learn the strats, it's not too terrible. And you know, I mean, I always am a fan of just bizarre games, and I didn't even know that was a game at all until I saw it. I'm just like, what? Like I said, I'm like, what is this? Like, what is this? What is this game? But
I
yeah.
apologize for the spam in chat, but please follow all of the runners if you have not done so
No,
already.
we appreciate that. Thank you, No Diggity.
Well, I think I'm gonna get going as well. I'll stick around in the stream chat, but yeah, Zetox is almost there. But yeah, thanks for putting this race together. It was still fun. I still enjoyed a lot of these games. So but yeah, that was fun. Thank you.
Well,
Yeah,
GG,
GG.
and thanks for
Yeah,
hanging out.
GG.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you guys.
Bye bye.
See ya.
And it sounds like we got Radioactive Man from Mars has also popped in here, our third place winner with an hour and 51-minute run. Got to give a big GG shout out to Radman.
Thanks, fellas.
How'd you feel about how your race went?
Pretty good actually. I was shooting for the under 2 hour mark, so I hit my goal. I'm pretty happy about it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And Fatal Labyrinth went nice and smooth, so I was really happy about that one.
Well, and we know you love that game, so it's nice to get some Fatal Lab love into the stream now.
For sure. I was excited when I saw that on the list. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I was pretty excited.
Well, if you can't groove to that music, I don't know what's wrong with you.
It's definitely not race friendly, and I completely understand where the hate comes from. But like I said at the start of the race, for viewers, it certainly helps level the playing field because anything can happen in that run. Kind of like
You,
what's happening with Imsense here on Gargoyles, just these
Yeah.
enemies.
yeah,
Atrocious.
I was just gonna say that's the only game I yelled at was Gargoyles.
I believe
Z-Tox
it.
coming up here to GG's.
Yeah, Gargoyles was the only game I didn't learn, so I'm kind of happy when seeing all of this that I didn't learn it because I can see why people would be yelling at this game.
I compare this game very much to Lion King. So I think if you speedrun Lion King and like that as a speedrun game, you should be running Gargoyles. A lot of kind of janky hitboxes and grabs and looks great and sounds amazing.
Yeah, we need lots of world records in Lion King.
Yeah, because there hasn't been that many lately.
This is a fun boss, but the timing has to be right on Gargoyles here, this elevator spider.
Almost fell off.
There we go.
That
Now
is
we can get
tricky.
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it looks like Fede is still trying to figure out if he wants to continue or not. I'm sure he's just taking a break here.
Yep.
Demolition Man definitely
That'll
can be
take it out of you.
difficult. And
Yeah.
yeah, yes it will. Cypher, yep, like Cypher's like, what the heck are you talking about, Booster?
And C-Tox is on to the final squirt here as well.
Mhm. This was a game that I thought Zetox wouldn't like. It's a lot of fetch quests, mazy. You got to learn the levels, and I think he was absolutely enchanted by this game and just how kind of captures that wonderment of a child just to be able to swim around as a dolphin.
All right, Z-Tox, hit dot
And
done.
GG.
Hit
And
dot,
there we go, fourth place.
yeah, but hit dot done, Z-Tox. Give me an
It's
official
around
time.
the 2-hour 10 mark, 50 some seconds.
Yeah. Here you go. I just put
dig it. Perfect.
that'll-
Yep.
it's something like that.
We're giving them the benefit of the doubt.
That's right.
Vegas Rage Runner, yes. I don't think there was too much rage with Zetox. He was able to get through Gadget Twins pretty quickly. He didn't seem to have too much bad luck with Fatal Labyrinth.
Rage, you say?
Ratman, how did you feel about Gadget Twins?
That I felt it was going fine, except for that plane boss just annihilated me one after another, and I ended up having to continue.
Oh yeah, that's right. You had to
Mm.
take the continue, and I think you had that second plane boss. You just had to get past him, and then a few other points, and you would have gotten through it.
Yeah,
But
you
yeah,
should have used the feather strats.
yeah, Fede, he went for the missile strat on the plane, so he didn't fight the boss, and he collected about 2,000 points just hitting 10-point missiles. It was pretty epic. But yeah, that game is very unforgiving. You get in the wrong spot with that plane boss, and a second later, he's annihilated your health bar, and
Hey, Z-Talk's
got a game
finished.
over. It's and two runners left, Imsense and Fede. And I know Imsense also went in blind, but it looks like from some of the gargoyle strats I saw him implement that he was at least familiar with some of these games, and he is now on to the final game. And I want to thank all the runners once again, and shout out to anyone in chat who's wanted to take part in one of these races. Here are two runners right now that went into this race blind. It's only 2 hours in, and they've made some seriously good progress. So, when we formulate these lists, we want them to be fun for speedrunners, but we'd also, make sure that they're completable. That if you do go in blind, that you'll also have a good time. So, anybody that would like to take part, we do have a Mega 16 race coming up at the end of the year, or at the beginning of the new year. That's going to be a full 16 games. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then in the springtime, we're going to bust out the Mega or the Master 8 race, 8 games on the Sega Master System. So lots of races coming up to whet your appetite. And right now, Fede, he's trying to shoot at the boss a little bit, not aware that you can't put any damage on him quite yet. You got to get to the end. And he is a tank. He can collide right into you as you're trying to climb, and they'll take quite a bit of damage. So this is definitely one of those levels on Demolition Man that will punish you. Oh,
Yeah, yeah, the difficulty really ramps up after the third stage, I believe. It gets really rough to be able to survive.
yeah. See, this part's a maze. You can't continue up here, so he's gonna have to traverse across the screen and to continue his travel upwards. So, not knowing that, he took that damage from the boss there, not realizing he did not have to go that path. So, once again, just taking this on blind is an incredible achievement, and is doing a great job. And as you'll see with Ecco Jr. there, that Imsense is on, um, you have the sonar location ability, which is a nice tool going into this game blind, because no matter what, you'll be able to find what you need to do to complete the level just using your sonar. It will eventually take you there.
Blind,
That
this goal is probably just around 15 minutes.
agree. 15, 20. There is a feature as well. If you access the menu, we are playing this on easy mode, which just means less levels. And you can access that menu by holding A, B, and C at the title screen. And one of the other options in that menu is auto sonar. So it'll constantly go off. So for a first time runner like Imsense or Fede, that would be a nice option to turn on is their automatic echolocation.
I almost, because of Ecco Jr., I almost didn't race this time because I get such bad motion sickness. But
You were talking
because,
about that. I wasn't sure if you'd be able to as well.
yeah, because it's the last game, I was like, oh, I'll just deal with it. And about halfway today through, about half the crystals I finished, and I start getting the sweats, the ill feeling in my stomach.
Oh.
Like, oh, I got power through it.
Man, that's dedication right there. That's Iron Man dedication. Playing through the pain. Just
Yeah.
rub some dirt on it.
Yeah, smart Alec is saying here that there's also facts about dolphins in the extra
In the
menu.
option menu. I have not tried that. That's fantastic.
Facts
that
about
he knows
dolphins.
that.
Cook dolphin 350 degree. No, never mind.
Oh. I had a friend who went to Japan and he ordered dolphin. And first thing I asked was like, "Why the hell are you ordering dolphin?" He's like, "Well, because it was on the menu, right? I mean, how often am I gonna have that choice?" So I asked him, "What did it taste like?" And he said it tasted wrong. I'm not surprised. Yes, that's exactly the flavor. Yeah, this is another very difficult boss on Demolition Man. If you're unfamiliar with this game, his hitbox is underneath. Yep, right there. And with this pattern, this is a nice, safe pattern, but it will be slow because he's only able to get 2 or 3 shots off at a time.
In his second phase, it's a one-hit kill situation.
Yeah, and I also think if you die and have lives left, he doesn't refill his health. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah, he'll start off with the same amount of health when you die. So it's a good point where if you do take a death, you're not going to lose too much because you're right back into the boss battle with the his health bar low.
Takes a maniac to catch a maniac.
Be well. I love the voice samples in Demolition Man. Can we talk about how, even though it is a little janky in the gameplay, other than that, it's very well made. The music, the samples, all great, high quality.
Yeah, I've definitely heard way worse.
Gotta find those billfish.
Let's see if we can bring up game audio capture from one of the other streamers. I don't know if we're going to get echoes on it, but we'll give it a shot.
The more echo music we can get going, the better. Yeah, and I just saw the Nightbot chat pop up, and just a reminder, in 2 weeks we have SegaWeen, which is our Sega Halloween event, and we still have lots of slots available, so if you'd like to get involved as well, just jump onto Discord and sign up. Should be a lot of fun.
All right, we've got the audio up for Fede, so we've got more Demolition Man for your listening pleasure.
Excellent. And looking in Discord, I see Ztox is just hanging out by himself, all lonely. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this guy in here.
You should.
Ztox, can you hear us? Paging Ztox, Dr. Ztox. That's all right. He's in here.
I'm
now. Oh,
here, but can you hear me?
Hey,
yeah,
buddy.
we can.
Yeah, we got you.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
GG.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
That was
Thanks.
a
Big Z.
quite a pace. 2 hours, 10 minutes. I bet you're super happy about that.
Hold on, I gotta turn something down here.
Big Z.
Quite a pace. 2 hours. This is the SegaCrew way.
now I
for
can't-
anyone new.
All right. Was there major echo right there?
There's a little echo.
There had to be.
Yeah, there
Okay,
was
well-
for a bit.
There was an Ecco Jr.
Here I am. Exactly. No, you can't get around the echo any way you go on this run. It was really fun. I was hoping for sub 2 hours, but just didn't happen. But I did grab 2 golds out of my now 4 completed attempts on this.
Which games did you gold?
Demolition Man and Ecco Jr.
Hey, all right.
Don't
looked
know
like you did-
how, but
It looked like you killed Gadget Twins as well. It looked like you did really good on that one too.
maybe, but I didn't split there, so I had to skip the split. So, you know what? If I killed Gadget Twins, then I'm not sad. But otherwise, I almost feel like I could run it again. We could just do this again, because otherwise, I've been playing these games for the last few weeks, and now it's just over. It's sad.
The balloon has been deflated. The party's over.
Yeah,
It
that's
always-
The beach ball that you have to hit with your nose and sonar on Ecco Jr. has been deflated.
Hey, and Imms was out of bounds there briefly on this stage, so understands a little bit of the speed strats.
yeah. I know he has been watching me practice, so I think he has probably watched other people as well. So he probably knows a few speed techs.
See, that's what I'm saying, Cypher, and run it back. Let's do it.
Well, you go back live, Z, and we'll throw your stream back up here.
Just that. And then you'll just be like, all right, bye, everyone.
Let's go raid Z-Tox.
Yeah.
That's kind of the worst part about doing these races, that
Well,
you
I
feel a
have
little
to
bit
go in
empty.
saying, I'm like totally blind, never heard of these games. And I'm on hour 14, and I will get the raid. You guys want to stream that long, right?
We'll see. We'll see.
I really, I
I'm
like
just
Gargoyles,
scrolling up
but I ended up not really hating any game by the end of it. But at first, I was just like, nope. About half those games, I was just like, nope, not gonna do this. But
First time I
eventually,
saw
I
you-
ended up like,
The first time I saw you play through all the games, you were just kind of sampling them out, and I remember in chat going, "Maybe this list isn't for you, Z."
yeah. No, I was getting very upset.
But you
At
killed it.
Cutie Suzuki and Shaggy and Scooby. I'm so glad that you had just like that, almost like cue card style, like do this, then do this, then do this. Like made it really easy, because it turns out there's a lot of items and side things that you can do that have nothing to do with the bear scratch goal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think my thought process was it wouldn't be fair to just come up with some random goal and then tell you guys, hey, figure it out. But maybe, that would have been more fun. And there we go. We got a GG on MSense. It's official. 2 hours, 26 minutes, 30 seconds.
Nice,
Fabulous time.
M's.
MC. He's been a busy guy. He was missing in action for a while, wasn't streaming a lot. I was really surprised when he told me he was gonna race this blind and to come in and do it in 2.5 hours at 2 hours and 26 minutes. That's incredible.
Found the big blue, the old wise whale. Very well done. Very well done.
I gotcha.
Wah wah. Hey, that was a diggity joke.
That was.
That was an accent. It said very well done in an accent, okay?
A thick Midwest accent.
Very well done.
Yeah, and I know Z-Tox, you'd agree with me on this. That Ecco Jr. game's just so charming. Just puts you in the right headspace. And
Not as charming as Demolition Man, as we're seeing right here. Beautiful. Beautiful. This is
do
where
love
I
all these
try to...
colors.
I've never seen this part of the stage before.
I try to go up top. Try to despawn those whatever lights that try to trip you up.
Yeah, you were the only person I saw going for the despawn strats, which I thought were a really cool
Well,
strat.
I don't know if that's even a strat or if it saves time. It's just something I started doing.
Well, it looks cool, and that's the most important part.
It is, as you see by my time. Looking cool is more important than speed.
I didn't even know that was possible, the despawn strats, until watching Z-Tox practicing.
That's what's cool when you get all these runners to race these games, the new strats that are figured out. You get so many brains and eyes on these games, and new stuff is found.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's some fun little mini skips in Demolition Man. It's really fun. You can just kind of Easter egg hunt for them.
Well, just with any game that gets a lot of attention, even so, for instance, I was watching, was it Two Snake playing Castlevania 2 on the NES, and was doing some, room skips, and then all of a sudden it was like, why did I turn into a bat? And then flips into the next room. It's like, oh, I'm a regular character again. So.
Oh, that's funny.
It's amazing what happens.
Oh, that spot is tough.
It's,
Sorry.
It's just amazing what happens with you get so many runners, so many different opportunities for these conditions to happen, and that's where we find clips and skips and stupid glitches and stuff that doesn't save time, but it's just really funny.
Well,
Yeah,
it's not only funny, but it's educational. Like, it adds valuable stuff to the pool of, data that we could use to run these games if we wanted to get more serious on them,
Exactly, and it might not be applicable to to something now, and might not be the fastest thing now, but down the road someone might be able to use this new tech and apply it somewhere else, or somehow to where faster times can be developed. So you never know what new strats are going to turn into, even if they are memes at first. Down the road they could be the whole game changer that the runners were looking for.
Hey, we got Ems in
Yeah,
chat
it's
too
just-
after a raid. So thanks, Ems. Congratulations.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, GG.
GGMs.
Incredible time going in blind. Sub 230 is a really good time for someone who put in some time to learn these games, but going in not at practice, that's fantastic.
Yeah, without having learned certain things about these games, there are key things, especially Fatal Labyrinth, Scooby Doo, stuff like that, that if you were 100% blind, you'd be here all day. You would be here all day.
Yeah, to get the bear to randomly scratch his back, it's like, wait, what?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that guy, always at the beginning, always miss him and then have to come back.
Be well.
You should be able to scratch his
Be
back
well.
with, like, a shovel.
Anything should work. Why do I need a heater and a piece of
A
poison
heater
oak?
that's already hot and you have to plug it in.
It wasn't
What?
hot enough. Bears need a lot of warmth to wake up.
They're basically like thawing out a Thanksgiving turkey that you got from last year.
No, it's like unfrozen caveman lawyer, you know.
Oh man, this part with the lasers. This is a difficult section coming up.
You gotta go back and shoot the thing and then go in the door and then now there's 3 and you gotta get them all.
He's missed a couple of hostages. He's gonna have to go back in this room. There we go.
What are the hostages supposed to be? Has anyone seen the movie well
Yes.
enough to know?
I
like
have seen
what
the movie. It's just that the way that they're
All right.
dressed. It's
But
like
are they priests
no, they're
or
not.
lawyers?
They're just regular museum
future.
patrons.
And they all
dress the
happen
same.
to be wearing
It's the
lavender
future.
trench coat.
Yeah.
Everyone
Yeah.
dresses the same.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's I could have imagined that too, but I don't know. I don't think there's any significance to the movie then, is what I'm guessing. I thought it was like a guy. Was there maybe a guy in the movie that said "Be well"?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, many
like
people did.
one.
It's a regular saying. that they
Everyone
have.
said that, and they were all dressed in purple.
Well, they weren't all dressed in purple, but they were all dressed in this like big, overstuffed type trench coat or like oversized trench coat. It's strange.
Oh, really?
I think we need to have a watch party.
Unless you were a street thug.
Yeah,
like all
unless
these
you're
guys
Dennis Leary, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
If you're Dennis Leary, you get to wear the badass uniform or badass clothing.
Like cut up rubber tires as shoulder pads.
Yeah.
Like a firefighter's outfit. That's a tough guy, right?
And they all ate Taco Bell because Taco Bell won the franchise wars.
Yeah,
That's
but
right.
but it depends on which region you watch the movie. In some places it's Pizza Hut, in other places it's Taco Bell, because they made it so that in areas of the world where it wouldn't make sense, they
It's
dubbed
one
it.
of those movies.
Yeah, they dubbed it.
Oh, so it's like ads everywhere.
A lot of Taco Bell ads. Absolutely. In fact, Taco Bell changed their logo for the movie to look futuristic, and then liked it so much that they changed it in real life.
Yep.
To look
Yeah,
more
that's
like
right.
And then
Demolition Man.
every NBA team followed suit and made it look just like the new Taco Bell logo in the 90s.
Yep. That's because
All
so
the
cool and
expansion
futuristic.
teams. Yeah, it's the future.
Futures now.
I will say one of the funny lines you're talking about, "Be well," is when Cocteau, or was it Cocteau? I think that's the guy's name. But he goes to his assistant and he's like, "Oh, I have to go handle something." He says, "Be well them for me," as he walks out of the
like,
room.
Say hi.
Yeah,
Instead
be
of,
well
like,
them
say
for
hi
me.
for him.
Aloha them.
Exactly.
He doesn't know about the 3 seashells.
Rob Schneider.
I've never
Is-
seen it.
Yeah.
Rob Schneider being exceptionally annoying.
I think we
Was
need to have a
Sandra
watch party.
Bullock in it?
Yes.
Because I guarantee
Yep.
you she was more annoying than Rob Schneider, no matter what.
We're gonna do a watch party then. We have to do a watch party. I think
Yeah.
we've
All right,
confirmed
I
Yeah.
gotta
that.
see it.
And I think
We're
we
gonna
do
see
need to have
who's
some
the most
sort of-
annoying, Sandra Bullock or Rob Schneider. It's gonna be close, but no, it'll be a blowout. Bullock.
And I think we do need
all
a
the way.
Stallone movie video game marathon as well, with all the Stallone
Well,
movie games.
I'm a little scarred by watching Late Night Retro do the cliffhanger on Sega CD.
Oh yeah,
That's a great game.
Oh, yeah,
those
I love that
cutscenes.
game.
Great game.
soundtrack.
he
It
said.
sounds
I
great.
love that
too.
game.
The soundtrack is kind of awesome.
And it has
The
all
game
those
is just
cutscenes.
ridiculous. It's so repetitive and just action packed. It's great. Whatever.
Speaking of Sega CD, are we gonna do another FMV marathon next year?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Very cool. Maybe that's where we can do the Sega CD Lawnmower Man race.
Oh,
Yep,
God.
that works.
45 screen.
How many
And
times can we
Fede-
attempt this platform jump? All the times.
Fede slowly working his way through this. This is the last level. He'll be able to complete this goal.
Is Fede
No.
doing it 100% blind?
I believe so. He runs most of his races blind. So, I mean, he might be familiar with a couple games here and there just because, some of them are popular. But I'm sure like this and Cutie, Scooby Doo. Hopefully he got the notes for Scooby Doo.
Yeah, I could see that taking a week to figure out, for me at least.
Well, Radman
So if it's all
played
blind,
Scooby-Doo.
then
Well, I know Radman
What was
played
that?
Scooby-Doo for Sega Ween a couple of Sega Weens ago. So
Yeah, I think it was last
Radman's-
year.
Was it last year?
Yeah, I think so.
So you came in pretty familiar with that game and the janky menuing. And
Yep.
did you ever think about running it or anything like that?
It crosses my mind every now and again, but I never really pulled the trigger on it.
don't do it. I mean, go for it. Go for it. You can do it.
It's a super fun game with a lot of charm, but the menuing is what kind of
Oof.
turns me off.
Yeah, especially since it's like a 20-minute run, so 20 minutes of that menuing, that can
Yeah.
kind of get a little irritating.
Well, you might actually miswire your entire brain by doing that, so I wouldn't risk it.
Nice, extra man there.
Crawl up through there. You gotta go down, man. Got the one up. Yes.
Nice. There we go. Nope, just run across. Not the other way. Yeah, if you weren't for sure if Fede was blind, this section right here is proving it. He just ran by the exit.
Yeah, it's a very unceremonious exit too. It doesn't make any sense, but it doesn't have to.
Yeah, if you don't know what it is, there's nothing to tell you. This is the exit. Go here.
If you couldn't just walk into the exit that is completely not obvious, then I'd be disappointed in the jank level of this game.
Oh, nice. Got the one up. Ah, there's an exit on the other side too. There we go. And Fede is on
Did
to
it
Cutie
screen
Suzuki.
wrap? What is that?
There might be exits on
Alright.
each side. I've
I
just
didn't
never
know.
taken the one on the right. Yeah, me neither.
I think the stage just loops.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I
can see
think the
that.
stage just feels sorry for you after a while, and
GG on.
there's an exit.
Wow, GG on this.
Another one down.
Yeah.
And of course, once we're done here, we'll go raid Fede and support him as tries to complete this. He is now almost to the halfway point. Once he gets past this goal of Cutie Suzuki, he will be halfway done with this list.
Oh, so now that we're convinced that this is blind, I'm interested in what strats or anger are developed here with Cutie Suzuki. Don't do
Yeah.
Demolition Man.
Yeah, if he's unaware of the ring out strats, it might be a while to pin all 6 contestants.
You hinted me towards it, Shane, but I don't know. I'd be curious to see how anybody else makes the ring outs happen. Because I just figured out my own stuff, and it's not 100% reliable at all.
Mhm.
Not licensed by David Bowie.
That's not David Bowie. It's Tim Curry, all right?
Is that who you went with, Z-Tox? I think Fede's
I
going with
did Gunzo Yama
Gunzo Yama.
right
Yeah, they
there.
all have fun names and
Fun name, but also my wife. Hello. Of course, I had to pick Gunzo Yama.
these little
Gunzo
sprites are
Bunzo.
fantastic.
Wait.
Awkward.
Oh, got it.
Blam.
Yeah, Cindy Nakano. That's not very clever.
Yeah. Go back and redo the name instead of fixing the actual game. Come on,
And
devs.
not knowing this, hope you can read Japanese.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
can't, luckily, for the devs who also want to torture me.
And he's off.
It's Oyama. Team Guns. Team Guns.
And yeah, it looks like they're going for the attended way. Just an all-out brawl.
Yeah. That was my first mistake. Hey, can you hear someone mowing the lawn? Maybe not.
Good day. to mow.
Slam!
And this was pre-Doom,
Oh.
where you see the sprite art change on the faces to show the damage meter.
Oh.
So Doom stole it from Cutie
Pioneer.
Suzuki. Yeah.
Invented first-person shooters.
Well,
Slam!
Viper mentioned we did have the man of culture picking the redhead. I mean, Ginger's the best. All I can say.
Strawberry blonde, maybe. Do you even earn the true Ginger title?
I
Do
think we
I?
can give it to him.
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
I got
Especially
friends.
Gingers
how-
are made of magic, so we'll give it to you.
Well, and how dark the beard is too. I
I'm
mean,
pale and I
that's-
got freckles.
Yeah, well,
so even if I don't have, even if I
then
don't have
there's
hair
people-
left.
there's people that have really dark hair on top, then end up with a red beard. So, but we'll still,
That's true.
I
My
follow that
mustache
logic.
Comes in red for some reason.
What if your mustache came in silver?
That'd
That'd be
well. I'm
weird.
sure it will one day, soon.
These
No,
move-
like
these moves-
actually
matter of time.
metallic.
I think the channel's about to go to mature here with these moves keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah, I can't watch anymore. My mom said so. No, what if you had the gray mustache and a red beard and then like black hair on top? That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that sounds pretty dope. Oh, they got the ring
But-
out strat. Here we go.
Oh, let's go. Slammo.
They could figure this out real quick if they're able to. They're seeing the timer.
Oh,
They get into
we
the
got
ring.
some tight quarters here. It could happen.
There we go. Oh, too close to
I've
the
seen
ring.
this done on pro wrestling on the evil E NES.
Nintendo Z.
Dun 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 dun
Oh, get back in the
dun,
ring,
dun,
get back
dun,
in the
dun,
ring.
dun,
Oh,
dun.
they don't. They did not get back in the ring.
You
They had a
gotta get back
chance.
in the ring.
Yeah, I
It's, the,
think,
it's a step in the right direction.
I think he didn't realize you need to double tap the D-pad to get in.
Mhm.
I didn't realize that for a while. I was
Yeah,
so mad
same
because
here.
I got into the ring the first time I ever tried, and then it never worked. It never worked, and I think I just got lucky the first try.
Yeah, it's it's not something that you'd think that is how you'd get back in double tapping the directional pad, and then of course you can't look online because it's a Japanese only game, so everything's in Japanese.
Well, you
but I think
you can learn Japanese.
that's true. It's I'm obviously just lazy,
Yeah.
but I think we all get to a point where you're like, get back in the ring, get back, and you're just mashing the D-pad.
I
and you get in,
know.
and you're like, oh, that's how you do it. So
Yeah, it's not obvious, but once you find out, you can actually get out of the ring with that same double tap too.
Oh, really? Okay.
Somehow,
And,
I've done it, and I think it was a kind of a glitch where you're supposed to be running and bouncing off of it, but I was by one of the posts, and I just went out of the ring, which might be a potential time save if I could do it again consistently, but yeah.
Oh, Esta throwing down some knowledge here. There's an English walkthrough, but I guess also if you hold start, it makes the CPU players matches.
What?
go
Really?
quick.
How did none of us figure that out?
I don't know. That's probably a big time save. That probably would have saved.
Well, I saw Gnar and Smart Addict do it actually.
Were they doing it? Okay.
Oh. Well, how come I didn't figure it out is all I'm saying, because I didn't watch it. Cutie Suzuki, for me, started as, of course, a good bad game. Like a perfect formula. Like, this is, of course, gonna love this. But then I started hating it, and I thought it was just bad. And then I eventually kind of fell in love with it and think it's actually a good bad game. It's not a good game, but it's a good bad game.
You have to go through phases. It's like the phases of grief when playing this game.
Yeah. Human
First
beings
denial.
are only wired one way to handle this game.
Yeah. Yeah. First denial, then bargaining,
Yeah.
finally acceptance.
Well, on my way out, I'd like to thank SegaCrew and Booster for putting this on. The tech guy, No Diggity, thanks for your help.
Happy to help.
Commentators, Booster and JKL. Of course, all the spectators watching. If I missed anyone, I apologize, but thanks everybody.
Thank you, Radman, and GG again for that in that sub
GG.
2 hour. Amazing job.
Thanks. It was always a blast.
Yeah, GG.
Yeah, we'll be hanging out here for a little bit longer. I say maybe we go to about the 3 hour mark, and then we'll send this party over to Fede.
Oh,
root him
you
on
just
to-
want to wait. 3 hour mark? Okay, that's fine. Yeah, there's a long way to go here.
Yeah. Especially if he's doing this the intended way. This will probably take, maybe 20 minutes or so to get through 6 fights.
Well, thanks again. I'm gonna split. I got my little 1-year-old yelling at me that I need to get off the computer.
Yeah, they need to practice their speed running, so good call.
Yep.
Yep. Whip them into shape.
Never too early.
All right, later, dude.
Bye,
Thanks so
Redman.
much.
Thank you,
See ya.
buddy.
Later.
Yeah, and I just want to echo what Radman said. Thanks for everybody joining us today to watch this fabulous race. Thanks to all the runners. Thanks for Bacon and JKL backing me up on some commentary, and of course,
Yeah.
No Diggity with the fine tech savviness and just delivering this beautiful stream and layout. And the amount of work this guy does to make us look
It's
so
great,
good is
right?
incredible. Yeah,
It
it really
looks
is.
great.
Gotta make it look sexy, because that's how we do it with SegaCrew. And to be completely honest, this overlay didn't exist until approximately 1 hour before the event. That's how I
Well,
roll.
Neither did these butts. All right? They were just created. And speaking of sexy,
I think you're right. I think this game is a great metaphor for the SegaCrew. Sure, it doesn't always work exactly right all the time. It might be a little janky, but we tried our best, and damn, is it sexy.
perfect. It really is a deep analysis, kind of spiritual breakdown of the SegaCrew.
See,
Deep thoughts with
I always
Booster Shade.
I always think about the line from Wayne's World, because she makes me feel kind of funny, like when I climb the rope in gym class.
I just watched that for the first time in like 20 years the other night.
Oh,
Did you know that Bohemian Rhapsody existed before that movie?
Yes, yes, I do.
Okay. A lot of people
Honestly,
didn't.
then as a kid when I saw it, I think I was like 8 years old.
I
That
didn't.
was definitely the first time I ever heard it. was from
Yeah,
that
me
movie.
too. A lot of people. But it wasn't the first time Wayne and Garth heard it because they knew when the heavy headbanging part was coming up.
Yeah, that's true. It's cool because the director of that movie, I can't think of her name, but
Must
she
be a
was
genius.
Well, she was very much into the punk rock and the headbanger scene. She made the movie like the decline of Western civilization. Or
Oh,
something
really?
Like that, which was about the rise of punk rock in the late '70s, early '80s in LA. And
It's the
so
same
she
movie
had-
that said like new wave or like there is no such thing as new wave. Like I have excellent news for the world. There is no such thing as punk or new wave or something in this big long speech. Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah, I remember that. But so she had, knew about music, and I'm sure was a big Queen fan. So it's kind of nice that that movie's so music heavy that they got a really good director for it.
Well, if she's the director, she probably just is not even thinking of a sketch. She's just saying like, "Hey, me and my friends used to ride around in like a station wagon and headbang to this song when it came on the 8-track or something," you know?
Yeah, I that's why it's such a good scene is because we've all been there. You got a good
Yeah.
jam going on in the stereo.
Not to that song, but maybe after that movie.
Yeah,
For her, maybe it was.
For some people, it's Queen. For me, it's Kenny G. Each their own.
For me, it's just the Cutie Suzuki soundtrack growing up
Yeah.
in Japan.
This
Imagine being in Japan that's been so cutting edge for all of the 80s for video games and just being like the only game we had was Cutie Suzuki.
rockabilly. That's all my mom could afford.
My dad was a failure.
Oh.
I got it in my stocking once with next to a piece of coal. Cutie Suzuki. No,
Suzuki.
it's a great game. It's very charming.
I don't know. There's something
Especially
wrong.
when
There's
you
something
got
wrong with the
Guns
screen. It's-
Oyama.
The screen's shaking. Just kidding.
Yeah, accumulating that damage. Oh,
Hey!
there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. I got the
Alright.
ring out.
Yes. All right, I just saw
Alright.
it. It was a little late. I'm happy about that though.
Yeah, if they put it together, they could piece it together right now. Going, wait a second, that was way easier and faster. Let's try it against this gal.
Non-stop, perfect. I say we watch to the end of this if Fede continues this strat.
Okay, if they bring him out here, we'll go through Cutie. That'll be half the list.
But how to bait them in is the thing. Definitely trying that strat, like trying to get hit.
Yep, they're backing up against the
Mhm.
ropes there. Oh, if they were a little closer to the ropes, that might have ringed them out or got them out of the ring.
So what do they call that move? The chiropractor?
The
Well,
crowd
the
pleaser.
only one I ever saw did pretty much that to me. No,
The back
not in a
adjuster?
good way. The life wrecker. I mean, what? Chiropractor. That's what it's called.
Oh, there we go. Yep, they figured it out.
Gotta be
Nicely
running.
done. Nice reversal
This
there.
is SegaCrew making moments.
That's
This is a
right.
moment. Life is turning around for
Oh.
Gunzo Yama.
Oh.
It's too close, though. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're figuring it out. They're learning.
Right idea.
That was not quite.
Oh, Cutie Suzuki.
They're like, get me out of here. Kick me out. Ooh, getting close.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's the biggest piece of the puzzle is figuring out how to get knocked out of bounds. However, Narblast was talking about figuring out a backup strat to where if they didn't kick him out, he was able to reverse to the other side of the ring and be able to knock them out into the off the ring. So there should be a few different ways to be able to execute this.
Yeah, I think this game has like special moves as well. When your so-called health bar is full and blinking, you can perform like a special grapple move or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never seen it. It's just something I heard from one of the viewers say.
Yeah, and you can choose your special moves. And that's at the. I'm assuming what you can do at the beginning when you select your character, and you can pick your inputs for your moves. That is too bad they were unable to finish that round, but luckily they should be able to start from right back here on the continue.
Oh, it starts from the beginning of the tournament.
Oh, does it? Oof. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, this might be one of the roughest blind goals.
Mm-hmm. Without knowing exactly how to ring out.
Yeah,
It's tough.
First you gotta win 3 matches in the row, and then you gotta win at least 3 out of 4 matches.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be really rough.
Well, we'll see how Fede does on this match, and then we'll go ahead and toss him your way.
Yeah, get
Root him
ready
on
to
the rest of
root
this way.
on Fede. Because there's more games to play.
Lots
Definitely.
of games.
If Fede wants to go the distance, we're going to root him on, right?
That's right. And, Fatal Labyrinth still coming up as well, and going into that blind, that might be a little tough, is not knowing exactly the way the game works, let alone some of the speed strats.
Let alone the main strats of getting the axe and
the double
doing
bow.
that. And yeah.
Did you have any problems this time remembering to re-equip and unequip battle axe?
No, a little bit myself,
Yeah.
but like I noticed it right away.
That's how it usually works
I didn't
for me.
sit
where
there
it's
trying
like,
to
oh,
fight
yeah.
him.
How was that not a pin? Come on. The meter was
Oh,
so low
what's-
and it was shaking and all that other stuff.
Oh,
No, that's quite the move right there.
the backbreaker.
It's almost like the bench presser.
Yeah, sort of. Using a human. Snap your back. Snap your legs. Yeah, go guns. Now get out of the ring. Don't do this. Oh, no. It's game. Just...
Kev Larson in the house.
Oh!
Oh, thanks for the bit. Oh, painful. Give it to her. I like how she did the move, but she's the one stunned after giving the move.
My legs would be so worked that I would be the victim of that.
Yeah,
move.
That's what it looked like. What happened?
If I did that to someone, the joke would be on me.
Oh.
We get a replay.
Well, we're gonna need to send a lot of good vibes Fede's way to root them on to help get them through Cutie Suzuki. So we're gonna go ahead and raid. I just want to thank everybody for hanging out and supporting
Thank
all
everybody
these amazing
for-
runners.
It's such a good show too, from what I was able to catch at the end here. Looked
Oh, well,
great,
thank you.
sounded great.
Yeah, Diggity, he knows how to put together a race. It's fantastic, looks great, sounds great, and when you got amazing speedrunners to showcase, it always turns out really well.
Well, let's this is gonna be great. We'll go over to Fede's stream and just cheer through to the end.
That's right. And thanks for the subs, everyone, and the support. And again, GG to all the racers. And thanks for
GG,
hanging out,
everyone.
everyone. And I just want to say we have some more great events coming your way, like the SEGA8 here in a couple weeks. And then we'll have another Sega Genesis Mega Drive race at the end of the year, the Mega 16. So lots of fun stuff coming your way. Should be great way to finish out the year, and we can't wait to see you guys again.
All right, let me know when we're heading out, and I can drop the stream here.
Okay, let me go ahead and hit the raid now, and thanks so much. And
Thanks.
go ahead and support Fede and root him on as he makes his way towards the end of SEGA8 number 2. And thank you so much.
Later, everyone.
Bye bye all.
Thank you.
Ooh, you did it.